Welcome back, fellow scrubs. This is Mark D. Wiz. We're back with Pocket Fighter EX, which is not endorsed or supported or affiliated with Capcom and SNK. It is a community-based game by the fans for the fans. And we're back. It's Monday. That's our day to do the Pocket Fighter stuff. So, hello and welcome. Got a couple things to go over, but for the most part, what I think I want to work on today is changing something in the stage between rounds. And so we'll figure out how to tackle that. I've got some ideas on what I want to do with that. But the one thing I wanted to go over was I think I want to change how Ryu's Kaku Fubatsu works. Just a little bit. So it's been kind of bugging me that in the develop wins Melty. I don't know. We could play Melty throughout the week, Tim. I don't care. That's fine. I mean, we don't have to be on stream to play it. We can just play it privately, or we could stream it to the Discord channel. Now that my upload isn't complete and total garbage, I can actually pull that off now. That would be nice. Nah, got a slope. He's talking about doing the programming. Gotta make the slopes work. That's our inside lingo for the platforming engine. I agree though, I agree. We should be doing that. My brain's not healed yet. You're gonna have to give me a couple days. Too much math, it's killing me. Anyway, the one thing I used to do, or how Kakufubatsu used to work in the builds, and if you've tried the dev builds, you'll know that it used to be just down, back, and punch to do the parry. But I've changed that, so now you have to press down, back, and 2 punches. Number one, sometimes you get a misinput and something doesn't come out right? So it's a little more deliberate to have to press 2 buttons. You know, there's far less an issue with somehow you might get a missed input or something. Which shouldn't have been too much of a problem, but even myself, I was doing it a lot. So, and now it's down, back, and 2 punches, and I think that's a good idea. Because of the second change that I get today. I only get the rest today. Yeah, we'll see. The other change that I wanted to make is I wanted to make it a 2-button press when you used it offensively, because I felt that it just wasn't it was a little too hard to do like a shoryuken and then a back and a punch. I actually still have the old one active, so I can do it to test. But that's the input that you had to do before. You had to do the shoryuken, and then you had to do the down back punch to do it, which was okay sometimes. But when you got to certain things like an EX fireball, it was so fast that you almost couldn't do it. So part of the problem that I had was also the motion of it too. Like if I do this, I don't know, it just really was hard for me to get my brain in the mode to do that, especially when you did like that. Either I would be too slow, or sometimes I just, like, my brain wouldn't comprehend that the half circle kick needed a half circle punch back. And sometimes I did like half circle back kick, I do half circle forward and then I do the down back and the kick instead. But if it's just the 2 buttons, it just seems way easier to remember. And it also kind of mirrors Street Fighter V's implementation a bit more, right? It's just easier to hit. Oh, I gotta get the shoryu there. There you go. The only confusing inputs is if you do that. If you do it on the first hit, you're gonna get an EX shoryuken. So you gotta make sure you're actually doing the shoryuken first. There's still a few things that I want to change about it. I think this is a good step in the right direction. But I think that we do need to do a couple other things. One is that the cancel window after you've done it is still a little weird. Like, see, I actually missed the... Oh, I didn't input it correctly. That could be why, too. Isn't it technically an EX then? Yeah, kind of. It's kind of an EX. It's kind of an EX. But it's also, it's very weird kind of thing in general, because it was, you know, a super that you stocked and used later and all that stuff, so. Hello.
Hello.
What's up?
I love you.
Okay, I love you too.
The music's good. That's amazing.
Yes, it is. I'm pretty sure that YouTube's gonna send me a notice about the music on today's stream.
There you play good music.
Yeah, well, whether it's good or not, YouTube don't care.
I know, that's a joke.
And honestly, I think like other companies are just claiming them. I don't think it's actually ArcSys. I think other companies are just like pretending to be ArcSys and claiming them, because they're like names that have nothing to do with ArcSys. So we all know that YouTube's copyright system is all sorts of fucked. So yeah, we'll see how that works.
Oh my God, don't hurt him.
But whatever. I don't have a dream to be monetized anyway. So whatever. Let it rip. Let it roll. But yeah, that was the idea, just to make it a little easier to do there. I think that's pretty much it for that. It also feels a little more deliberate and chunky to do something like that. Like you're hitting 2 buttons just feels more impactful that way. It's hard to describe, but there is a sort of feeling that you can get out of certain button combinations, certain amounts of button presses. Like Kenshin Ryuken is really cool. And we'll switch to Ken. Kenshin Ryuken is really cool looking, right? How long is the stun window for Kakufubatsu? Enough to get a jump in, I think. Or just about. It's pretty long. I wanted to make sure that you could pretty much do any combo that you wanted on it. It's much higher than Street Fighter V. So Kenshin Ryuken. If you press the buttons, you get 19 hits, and if you don't press buttons, you get 11 hits. Did I have to add that? No. But it feels better to press buttons. Because it's a multi-hitting super, it makes you feel like you're actually in control of hitting harder. Like the faster you hit the buttons, the more hits you're gonna get, right? Like there's sort of a connection there. And I think that's important to have something like that. Even though it really doesn't mean anything. Like I made the button tolerance, the dirty secret here is I made the button tolerance of pressing it so low that you could lazily press it and still get it. But the fact that you have to press it makes it more hype. Eventually I want to do it for this, where you can the other person can mash out. Like, so this, if you press the buttons multiple times, you get more hits, right? In the old Street Fighter games, you could almost kind of do this forever if the other person didn't waggle out on their own. Like if they didn't mash, like you could keep doing that. How would the player even know about that feature? It should be in the move list. I'm not saying that it is currently, but it will be eventually. I don't know if I've actually put it in here yet. Shinryuken full power. No, I didn't put it in there yet. But what I want to do is I want to make an icon that represents, press button repeatedly, rapidly. And there will be, my current idea about the move list is that there will be a button to tell you, explain what the icons mean. So you can press the button to find out, oh, this icon means press buttons fast. This icon means it's special cancelable. This icon means whatever. And then we can put the icons next to the name as kind of like a shorthand so that you know that you have to press the button repeatedly to get more damage out of it. I mean, other than that, it's, you can go to the wiki. I've actually been working on the wiki. I haven't in the past month or so, but I've been working on it beforehand. Let's see. Let me find it here. Fandom Pocket Fighter EX. Hey, there we go. How about that? Look at that. Get out of here. Ads be gone. You're not making me money, so get out of here. But yeah, no, I actually put a wiki together. I've shown this before. I don't think anybody actually visits it though. But I put up full descriptions of this. Does more damage if you rapidly press kick buttons during the attack. There you go. So how are they supposed to know? Oh my god, it's only damn ads. How are they supposed to know? Right here. This is how they're supposed to know. It tells you right here. Wiki. You need a command for wiki, right? I don't have a bot anymore. I need to make a new bot. You checked it once or twice? Twice? Yeah. Crutch. Kind of. Yeah, I would. What I would want to do is put little icons next to the name, because we don't have much screen space, right? And it's just, you know, there's not a lot of room to put some stuff here. I mean, you could potentially put full text descriptions in here, but okay, like, sure. It would take up a lot of space, though. So what I would do is I would make little icons, right? And put them in there so that, you know, one icon means press button repeatedly. Needs to be relayed in game, not in the menu. Well, what do you want? You want the game to pause and a fucking text description come up on the fucking screen? I mean, if you wanted to take that logical thread to its maximum, it's like, okay, well, we should not, we don't need the move list to know how to do a Hadoken or a Tatsu. How do you know what the commands of the moves are without the menu? That shouldn't be in a menu. There should be some other way to know what the moves are. How are you supposed to know that you can do that? That you can link these together? That they're a target combo? Open question, because I can't think of yeah, just use Ultra Instinct. Yeah, okay. I'm not really sure how else you're supposed to facilitate that. I mean, most fighting games will give you icons, and then you press a button and it tells you what the icons are. I don't know if it says like legend or information, icon information, and it'll tell you what that is. I think that's a perfectly acceptable way to do it here. That way you don't have to have the full text description on everything all the time. You can just press a button. Well, I can't press a button right now, it just takes you back out, but press a button, see what the icon means, and then go look back at the thing and match up the icon, and like, oh yeah, that one means that. Okay, fine. I mean, there is there is something to be said for wanting to have I'll put this, minimizing the language barrier at all times, but just write mash at the end. Well, then there's a language barrier there. What does mash mean? What does mash mean? I know what it means in the context of a fighting game. But what if someone who's never played a fighting game picked this game up, or someone who's not that familiar with the vocabulary of the FGC, or you know, that it's not even a fighting game specific thing. But what does hold mean? What does hold mean? Yeah, well, I didn't say that this was the final. I said we still have to add stuff to it. So of course there's going to be stuff in here that's not hold button. It says hold button. Run, hold. I could say hold direction for running, because you can't just double tap, right? You have to hold the button. Not saying there aren't improvements to be made, but reasonably, you know, other than using an icon, what are you gonna do? And you can't just say mash at the end of something, because who knows what the hell does mash mean? I mean, we kind of know what that means. Does that mean mash the directions? I don't know. Do I have to press the directions and the buttons? Do I have to press all the buttons? Do I have to press even the ones that don't do anything? Do I have to press taunt too? What does mash mean? So you see, there's a vocabulary barrier. You have to make sure that you need to be aware of in that point. At that point. MASH is too old school. People don't watch it anymore, right? How are you going to try network updates? What's network updates? Do you mean like you open the game and it's like, hey, we're downloading the new version of the game, please hold on, and we'll download the thing like Street Fighter 5 does? Is that what you mean? Yeah? Okay. I'm not. to just be quite blunt, I'm not. There's gonna be no automatic like update. It might let you know that there's an update, but it won't force you to update. You'll have to go and download the game on your own and update it. Now, if you have the Game Jolt app, it's really easy to just update it whenever an update happens. And in fact, I've gotten reports from people that Game Jolt actually automatically updates things. So, that might be something that happens. But I'm not sure because I haven't actually pushed like an update since their desktop app has been out. Now, you don't have to do this. You don't have to go here. Why is this so tiny? Why are all my window things so tiny? What happened? All my window names are really tiny. I bet this is because off stream, Tim made me increase the size of the UI in Unity so that he could read the thing because he needs glasses. I don't know. No, actually it's because Discord is really, really bad with screen sharing. And so I did that. I bet when I reverted it, it like screwed up Windows friggin' UI settings or something. That's great. Of course it would, right? Still bugs to fix? Yeah, there's lots of bugs to fix. There's gonna be lots of bugs to fix and new bugs every day, right? I usually keep a few older versions of games just in case something goes wrong with a new one. Yeah, and that's the other thing too. Like it does help prevent that. If you get to control when you update the game, then if something goes wrong, yeah, you can just use the old version. Now in this case, I'm not 100% sure how matchmaking is going to work and things like that. And I don't know if I'll be able to support multiple versions in matchmaking. So maybe when the newest version of the game comes out, the matchmaking might not work anymore. I'm not really sure how that's gonna go because I haven't figured out how I want to do matchmaking yet. What's happening today? Tim's grilling me about putting icons next to things and putting the word hold. Tim wants mash. He wants the word mash next to things, but he doesn't want the word hold next to things. Yeah. M-A-S-H, mash. Mash it. Don't you know what mash means? Hit all the fucking buttons and the directions and everything. Yeah, the same thing happens with when you're dizzy too, right? In this case, I think... I don't know if I made directions actually count. I don't know if mashing directions while you're dizzy actually does anything. It might be just normal buttons. But I don't know. Anyway, that's besides the point, but what I really wanted to do today was try to implement some kind of way to have stage changes between rounds. So there would be like different phases to the stage. And like a good example, I think, would be a good easy example, this stage. That's why I pulled this up in the beginning. Do it like DBZ, rotate the stick for more damage. I hate stick rotations, actually. That's one of my least favorite QTE things in any kind of game. Even like, you know, a character, what they call it, character action? That's I guess that's the technical term for games like Devil May Cry. I don't know, I just call them action games. Action fighting? I don't know what you call them. Anyway, this stage, see how there's snow falling? You could have it so that between rounds, the snow just stops. Or the snow is not falling at the beginning. And in round 2, the snow starts to fall. You know what I mean? Also remember that timing your button correctly catches the Pokemon better. And we all used to believe that. Apparently there's no truth to that, by the way. Like people, I think people like dissected the code, and they're like, yeah, that's just a myth. You mean like TOD changes like in the old games? TOD, that the only TOD I know is stands for Touch of Death. So I don't know what that's referring to. Time of day? Time of day. Oh yeah, well yeah, okay, I see what you're saying. Like KOF has time of day changes between different rounds. Yeah, okay, I get it now. Personally, while that is possible, personally, I don't like specifically time of day changes. And the reason I don't is because, and of course I'm saying this in a game where you can chuck plasma and helicopter kick across the screen. It's very unrealistic to have that much time transpire between rounds. And further on top of that, I think the time of day can really sell the mood of a specific stage. And so instead of doing time of day changes per round, I would prefer to have a separate stage version where the time of day is different, and then have per round changes to be like more immediate changes in the stage. It's cool to have alternate versions of time of day in stages, but I feel like they shouldn't happen between rounds. Like when you go from like high noon to sunset to midnight between rounds, it's just kind of strange. Like I know some games do it, but it's like really weird to me. I'm like, why is it all of a sudden it's like fucking midnight? Like it was just sunset. Why is it midnight? Like maybe it could be more sunset, but it, you know, would have changed that gradually. You probably wouldn't even notice it, to be honest. Unless there was some, you know, dramatic time of day shift. And I think that's why when they do it, they do it so dramatically. It's like, oh, it's sunset and now it's midnight. I was like, okay. You know, like the sky's completely black and you see the stars and all that stuff. I think it's because otherwise it might not be so noticeable. But I would prefer to have them as separate stages themselves. And that's why I did just that between these two. So I've got the day and the night stage. If you want to play in the night, then you just go to the night one. Has any fighting game ever had the time of day change during a round? I can't think of one, but I won't say that there's necessarily not one. A real-time change in daylight? I can imagine that being something that maybe a 3D game would pull off, like Soul Calibur or something like that. I can't imagine that being a just do it man style. I can't imagine that being, I don't know. There's not enough time that transpires in a single round, even especially actively, where I would imagine that it would be something to implement. Like, you know what I mean? Fatal Fury 1 did it? Really? Within the same match. Or within the same round. In real time, they had a time of day change? That's just silly. That is actually really just silly. Oh, between rounds. Yeah, no. Between rounds, a lot of KOF games do it too. But not, we're talking about like within the same round. Like you actually see the sun setting during the fight. Like actually moving down. Yeah. But yeah, between rounds, like a lot of the KOF games do that too. 98 has tons of that. Street Fighter has never been big on time of day changes. I think. I can't think of a specific one where they actually had the time of day change. Oh, you were talking about just at all. Yeah. Oh, you do know of one that actually changes during the round, like actively? See, now there's a time of day change that would be interesting if you had it transpire through the entire match in real time. That would be interesting. Abigail's stage in Street Fighter V? Okay. I can see that because his Final Fight one was based on that. You're right though. Yeah, it did actually change from night to day, didn't it? Yeah. That's still really weird. So it's like, is everything happening at hyper speed and time? Like, strange. So I would personally, I like it when they're separated so you can choose the mood that you want. Because they have different moods, right? So for two reasons. One, because maybe you want to play this stage while it's night all the time, right? And then number two, because the amount of rapid time change that would happen to facilitate that would mean like, I don't know, the Earth's spinning like 10, 15 times faster than it normally does. I don't know. Like, what's going on? Is the calamity coming? What is happening? So personally, I would just keep them separate, like I do here. It also makes it a little easier to code to make them separate times a day, because you might have to load entirely separate assets when you do something like that. But changes between rounds, I think, is fine. And this one sort of has like a pseudo round change because of the. I guess you won't see it here in training, but the sign here actually won't come back after the round ends. They'll continue to be destroyed. So if the first round takes place over here, and then the second round, like, you know, I get pushed back here, and then that gets broken, like, they won't actually come back. They don't regenerate between rounds. So it's like the destruction of the stage stays, and it's continual, and it builds up over time. So let's see. And do the sign challenge. The sign challenge is really easy, actually. Let's see. Yeah, I'll just do Ryu and Terry. So if we go here, this is normal round-based mode, one-on-one. So I'm gonna just KO him first over here, and just to prove that the other sign is there. Other sign is undamaged. Oh no, he's not taking damage. Uh-oh, I glitched something in training mode. He's not taking damage. That's funny. Oh wait, no he is. It's just the bar's not working? Okay, I'll have to write that down. Life bar is glitched and doesn't actually show damage. Okay, so sign's okay there. But see, the sign's still broken over here. So there's a couple ways that you can have that gradual buildup of change. And see, now the sign's broken. Actually, I should have Terry defeat. Oh, the actual... Yeah, some of the training mode settings are on, apparently. Oh my god, playing with the arrow keys is like impossible. Oh, now the life bars are working. Once Ryu got hit, it was fine? That's strange. Yeah, the block settings from training mode are effective here now. I goofed something up. There we go. So now both signs are broken. Terry won. So we go to round 3. And then you'll notice that they're both still broken. See? They stay. So I think touches like that really help too. I want to add a lot more destructible elements like that. Like I've got one, I've got a crate for the, I just took a guess how damaged he was at that point. That was perfect. I've got a crate for Terry's other stage that I want to put in, but I haven't put it in yet. Part of the reason why is because some of the code for that is actually glitching, and even when a character is not close to the sign, it'll sometimes break, and I'm not sure why yet. So I want to clean that up before I start adding more destructible elements. But more to the point, so what can we do here? I think for this one here, it should start with snow, and then it should slowly, or not slowly, but just maybe between rounds, the snow stops, so the snow goes away. And I think that'll be an easy one to implement too, so we can start with that and see how that runs. And actually, I'm gonna have to go back to normal mode here. Oh shoot, I went the wrong menu. I'm gonna have to go back to the typical team mode here, because we won't be able to test it in training mode, because training mode doesn't have rounds. It just restarts the match back at round 1 every time. So I don't know. How about that? And there we go. And we'll pick this stage. And if I do this, it will keep those settings. So when I start the fight, when I click off play and put play again, it will do what I want it to. It'll bring us back here instead of training mode. It's kind of just whatever the last little bit there was. Should be able to link that. Yeah, just like that. Oh, what a waste. Oh. And we parries it, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so that should get us back at the same spot. That'll make it infinitely easier to debug this. Yeah, see, it's back in team mode and it's back in the normal mode. So, let's see. We want to then bring up... I'm gonna remove that. Those were the two I was working on. Let's go to stages, wherever they are here. These are fighters. Where's stages? Oh, they're down here. Stage. Snowy train yard. Let's drag that in. Okay. Oh, it's still got the tree. I forgot all about the Christmas tree. That's funny. It won't work anymore because it's only works on Christmas week. So unfortunately that's gone. But let's see. I'm just gonna make it invisible so we don't have to look at it. So snowfall controller and snowfall slow controller. So there must be just two different layers. That makes sense. Oh, the other thing, what game was it? I saw recently another fighting game. Not if I change my system clock and disconnect from the internet. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I saw another game that had snow in game, and they actually flickered the snow pixels on and off, which I thought was interesting. And I'm not sure if that's... Oh, excuse me. Pretty tired this week. I'm not sure if that's something that would look good in Pocket Fighter EX. I kind of like it where it's just there. Like it doesn't flicker, it's just over the characters. And it's dark enough that you can kind of get away with that because it just kind of absorbs into the background. Like, it doesn't stand out too much. So I had two trains of thought. Either one, they just thought that the flickering snow effect looked good. It kind of simulated transparency. Or because the snow was so bright and so stood out against everything else in the scene that they had to make it flicker. Otherwise, it would be too distracting. Now, I compensated for the distracting element by merging, well, not merging, but applying an appropriate palette for the snow in ways that don't pop out too much. It just sort of kind of feels like background noise. You don't even like notice it unless you're really looking. Illegal stage, 1 pixel feet obstruction. Yeah, and no, can't play on the snow league stage. The feet go in the snow. Can't play footsies if I can't see feet. I want to, speaking of that, I do want to one day make a beach stage that's kind of like Kanzuki Beach, but not the same. I don't know if I have a picture of it, but let me see if we can find it. There's one from KOF 2000 that's a good, it's a good example of this. So let's see, resources, raw resources, stages. Let's look at, excuse me. Do we have, oh yeah, it's gonna be, timers going in the background. Hey, special intro, how about that? Where is it now? Refs. Okay, it's in refs. Yeah, here's where I keep all the full-size ones. It's KOF 2000. Oh, I don't have it. There's a beach stage where you're partly on the beach and partly in the water. But what makes that work, where the Kanzuki Beach doesn't, is that the water is actually clear and there's like a very small, transparent, well, it flickers. It's not true transparency, but you get the idea. A semi-transparent effect of you standing in the water. And yeah, there's a lot of beach stages, but not all of them let you go into water. In fact, let me just try to find it quick, because I think it's a good example on how to do one of these. KOF's also got in '99. Actually, I might have that one too. No, I don't have it. Okay, hold on. KOF 2002 stages. I'm sorry, not 2002. I just said 2000, right? Yeah, 2000. Here it is. Oh, out of there. Okay, here. Look at this. So you can actually go into the water, but the water doesn't obstruct your feet. In fact, it shows your sprite over top the water effect here. And what it does is it puts a little like water ripple effect around your character's feet. So it kind of looks like they're in the water while not obstructing the view of the feet while you're in the water. It's actually pretty clever. I think it's incredibly well done. And you kind of just don't think about it like when you're playing. And KOF 99 has a sewer stage, or it's kind of a sewer stage that's kind of the same. I think they do the same thing there. So let's see. 99. Yeah, it's this one. Let me grab it. This one. They do the same thing here. I don't know, in the corner here you probably can't see the people's feet though. Can you show a YouTube of this? I'm not really sure how to identify what stage someone's on, you know what I mean? And I guess we can try a... I wish I just had it. Like, I have the... I have the Amazon games like emulated KOF 2000, but I don't know if it has training mode. I don't know if you can actually do training mode in it. The thing with YouTube is like, okay, you can't just type in like, no one's gonna have a video about this specific stage, you know what I mean? I'm gonna have to look for a full playthrough. So KOF 2000 arcade playthrough, and then just kind of hope that they get to that stage, because there's no guarantee that they're actually in that stage either. So, oh yeah, here they are. Well, let's hope they go over to the side. You can kind of see it here, right? When he's in the water, they don't obstruct the feet. They just give a little... Yeah, okay, it's good. Good, he's staying over here so we can actually look at it here. But see, they give a little thing at the feet, but you can still clearly see the feet. It's still there. When is the game being released? Oh. There's the link to download the current version of the game. So, we're in it's a very early demo. With the when the full thing's being released, I could not tell you. It's impossible to predict that right now. Super bar more illegal than the water. Yeah, right? Yeah, no problem, Shedstein. Yes, as it goes over the feet. That's why I kind of like, when I hear some of the complaints like that, I'm like, you realize like in the old games, like the super bars go over the feet, right? It's like you can't see the feet anyway in some of these games. And people get mad about the table in Third Strike in Chun-Li's stage. But to be honest, like you don't even notice it when you're fighting. So I'm not convinced that that every complaint of that nature is valid. Oh, it's not the super bar, it's the assist. Well, okay, sure, right, semantics. But typically the super bar is on the bottom. So in other games, the super bar does go over your feet. So. The table is a tactical prompt. Yeah, I don't know. I think some of the I think the validity of some of those claims is overblown. I think there are certainly cases in which stages can be too distracting if they're not done properly. And then you have issues like and this one's not even a visibility issue, but was it Skies of Honor? The Street Fighter V stage for Rashid? That one actually has a legitimate claim to being potentially not used for tournaments. Because the different people have different tolerances to motion sickness. True fighters deal with their surroundings and adapt. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel about it. It doesn't bother me. Even when it's something like the table. I don't even notice it's there half the time. But the Skies of Honor stage actually like rotates. The background just starts rotating. You know, because they're flying a plane and it does like an aileron roll and it does all this crazy movements. And people can actually get like, their perceptions are messed up by that. Or motion sickness. So something like that, I think, is actually a valid. You know, there's some validity to that one, but I don't know. Kanzuki Beach, they're kind of half and half on that. I'm not sure that it's that bad. I prefer to play Street Fighter 3 to Street Fighter 5. Yeah, you're preaching to the choir there. But I think in a simple effect like that's fine. The reason I haven't done a stage like that yet is I don't have any way. I have an idea of how to do it, but I don't have any current way to make the game. What do I want to say? I don't have any way to differentiate certain zones of the stage to say that when you're in the water, you want to use a different effect when dust kicks up, because dust in the water doesn't make sense, right? I don't have any way in the game program to do that. I have an idea of how to do it, but it would be a pretty time-consuming change, so you probably won't see a dual terrain stage like that would require different dust effects to kick up depending on where you are. Like a snow stage should do that. Of course, we do have a snow stage and it most certainly does not have white dust. It has brown dust on it, but eventually I want to make it so that it will use snow versions of that kind of stuff. I think that would be really cool. So that when controller went to sleep. There we go. So see the dust is brown that kicks up. I would like it to be the snow color, ideally. I think that would be really cool to have the snow color being the dust effect. Because it is kind of noticeable that it's brown here, right? Oh yeah, it's true. Yeah, sound effects would be different too. Like when you land in water instead of landing on ground. That's true. That's true. I hadn't really thought about that. I'm pretty sure I would have caught it as soon as I put the system in, and it was like, oh, that doesn't look right, or sound right rather. But you're right. Yeah, you would have to do more than just visual changes. Training stage also legal, can count distances. Yeah, right? Most people play the training stage because you can count the distance in the grid. I find that very boring to watch training stage. And I think that, especially in a fighting game where spectacle is a lot of the magic, that you're not only driving people away from like actually wanting to watch that game or to get into that game when everybody plays on training stage. Except for, of course, the hardcore of the hardcore, the actual competitive players. But also the fact that it's just incredibly boring to watch, you know, all the time. Like, just deal with knowing the space on the screen. Like having the screen space in 2D in an unchanging, unzooming thing, like is just, that's like the pinnacle of readability. So I don't know what the problem is with having a not playing on training stage. Now, lag concerns are one thing, of course. Some people wanted to play on training stage because of lag and Street Fighter 4. And that I can understand. If the stage is making the game lag, especially when the online is really bad, you know, you want to play on something that's not going to drop your input, especially when you need to hit a 1-frame link in a game like that. You can't have that, right? So that's another concern. I can get behind that. But Street Fighter 5, I don't think really has that problem. At least if you're playing on PC, you shouldn't have that problem. So in general, I don't field that as an excuse. I would say if that were the case for my game, and people were avoiding playing on normal stages because it was too laggy, that's a failure of the game. That's not like, you know, I should just fix the game, and then you won't have to use training stage. Oh, well, it can cause lag locally too. If the game has trouble rendering or processing the background when it does its update, that could possibly cause an input cycle to get missed, and then you might drop a combo or whatever. So it's not just an online thing. I don't understand why heaps of devs don't make fighting games. You mean anymore, I guess. It used to be the case in the arcade days when Street Fighter 2 came out, everybody had a fighter. But then the bubble kind of burst, and there wasn't as much money in it. And now, if you want to make a fighter, we're so far into the genre that if you show up with anything remotely subpar as a fighter, you're just gonna fail unless you've got like a property behind it. So that's why like you see games like all the anime arena fighters. They don't have to be very good. They just have to be flashy enough for all the anime fans to gobble them up, right? You know, it's why we had all the crappy DBZ fighters, and then DBZ got handed off to Arxis, and all of a sudden we got the amazing Dragon Ball Fighter Z. But that's kind of the exception instead of the rule. But if you just show up with an original fighter, and that thing is not like crazy impressive, well, not even that. If it's not at least up to the standard of your contemporaries, you're probably just going to get completely lost. And nobody's going to go into a project that risky, I think. You know, other developers who don't have the experience in doing fighting games, they'll look at that and be like, why are we going to stick our necks out on a risky project like that when we could just make a Candy Crush clone or whatever? I mean, that's hyperbolic, of course, but you know, you could like, well, we'll make a first-person shooter instead. Screw the fighting games. And they don't make that much money anyway. So, it's... I think if you don't have a developer at this point that really would love... Because it used to be the case that they did make money. They made a lot of money. But now they don't make a lot of money. I think it's a very risky type of game to make. If you don't get people that really just want to make one, I don't think that any studio would pick them up. What do you want? What are you hiding under my desk for? There's no thunder today. What are you doing? The doggy's here. What? You stink really bad today. Here, get. Go on. Go on. Go stink up another part of the house. Go take a bath. You don't like baths. Anyway, circling back around. So we've got a background controller. Yeah. I should have just called this a stage controller. Or do I already have one? It's called, there's match controller, but there's no stage controller. Could I just rename this? Will it screw everything up if I just rename this? I hope not. We'll just call this stage controller. Oh, I think actually do a rename. We'll let it gather all the references. I haven't opened the code yet, so it might take a while. Yes, he's still loading. Yeah, okay, first thing we'll do, we're gonna rename this a stage controller instead of stage background controller, because this is going to control potentially more than just the background, you know, other props and colors of things. And hey, here we go, we finally loaded up. We're getting there. All right, we'll give that a minute. So the simple test we're gonna do, we're gonna add stage phases in here, and then that will have an event listing that you can just add and subtract events from, and we can do that for like disable the snow. So when phase 2 of the background occurs, we disable the snow. Should be easy enough to program and should look kind of cool. So, okay, here we go. And we can stage controller. We're gonna save that and close that specific file because I need to rename it here. Stage controller. And hope it doesn't unserialize everything in the project. Do you think that an indie could build an original fighter from the ground up and try to create a new series? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And if I had the resources, I would be one of the people doing that. It says it already exists. Wait, stage controller already exists? Stage controller already exists. Uh-oh. Wait, what is stage controller then? Where is this? Where is it? Oh shit, yeah. Okay, never mind, there is one here. Stage controller. Son of a bitch. Okay. Okay, hold on. I have to roll the project code back now. That was a irreversible change that I just did. Let's undo that. Hit the giant undo button on the repo. Stage background controller, revert. Revert. Undo! Okay, you can see again. Yeah, real-time rollback. Hey, this is why you have version control, right? Okay, we're just gonna roll with stage background controller. I don't like the name, but I'm not willing to go and re-engineer the entire structure here for just this. So I'm going to make a new region. Stage round changes. Not the best name, but at least this has no coding impact on anything. So we need a public class round changes. I think we'll call it round phase data. I don't know. This one's not going to be this one won't matter as much. We could rename this one at will because it's just a subclass. Configuration, round phase configuration. How about that? Right? How about that? So, I'll call this one, let's see. We need to add Unity events here. Probably not already in here. Using the Unity engine. Events? Event system? Events. I think just events. I think event system is like when you click the mouse and it sends a message to the components and stuff. I think that's what that's all about. And then events are actual like program events. Essentially, an event in coding is a open spot where you can start to stockpile receivers for things. So say the snow component says, hey, when a certain thing happens, let me know. I mean, that's really what an event that we're doing here, that's what this type of event is. It's kind of a list of things to call back out to people when something happens. So public event on round load? Yeah, how about, or on phase load, right? Because it's called phase. On phase load. You know what, I'm gonna call it a stage phase. On phase load. What's new? Event. Ta-da. And then we'll have a public int round activation. A round of activation. How about that? I should make my own original fighting game. I would love to make my own original fighting game. It just costs a lot of money, and that's something I absolutely don't even remotely have. I would love the money to do my own original game, because I think I could do a really good one too. Should we have a deactivation? Or just activation? I feel like there should be a deactivation. That way you could have phases. Let's say activate and deactivate. That way you could have phases that go between each other. So you could say, oh, the phase where the snow turns on will be on round 2. But then it, like, something else can turn on in round 3, and then round 4 you could turn off the snow. You could say it deactivates on round 4. Something like that. I think that works. So, public list stage phase configuration. Actually, this will be a list. It's not going to change in real time, so we'll just make it an array. Stage phase configurations equal new, stage phase configuration, and 0 at start. And this needs to be serializable, so system.serializable. And we should be able to just see it. Let's make sure it actually shows up. Come on. There it is. Let's give it a header. Separate it from all the other crap. Stage phases. Okay, and so the idea is once the round, the condition is when the round comes in, round of activation, we'll say is 0, and the round of deactivation is 1, right? Or, and that, you know, something that is on at start will get turned off, or vice versa. And then you could say one that starts on round 1 and, I don't know, ends on round 99. I guess it doesn't end. That would be a way to just make sure it doesn't ever end. Because you can't get 99 rounds. I kind of feel like that's a cop-out way to do it, but that still works. You do it the nerdy way, 255. You can't get the 255 rounds. Let's see. Oh, the events didn't actually show up, and there's a good reason for that. So I need to make a second public class. Stage phase event, and it needs to be serializable, and it has to include Unity event. Oh, maybe that's why. Maybe this needs to be Unity event? We could do it that way too, maybe. Let's see if that shows up. I still like to make a class. Will Unity event show up? Okay, Unity event will show up, so I'm just gonna get rid of that. I guess I just used the wrong one. That's fine. You do need to make a new class if you need to specify specific. Well, it's convenient to make a new class that inherits the Unity event, and then you specify specific data that needs to shove in and out, but that's fine. So, okay, so on phase activate. Let's say that it does it on round 2. And then we'll just say this turns on. Game object. Or I'm sorry, I'm going to turn it off. It's on right now, I'm going to turn it off. So, is active, false. And then we'll take the other one in the back. Is active, false. Starting on round 2. Now this is not going to do anything yet because we haven't coded it to do anything yet. But we will, we'll go through it. Okay, we have that. Then we're going to do public void check stage phase change or update. Maybe update. I is less than however many there are in here. I plus plus. And we're gonna look through these. And we're gonna say do we have match data already here? We do not. So we're gonna need that. Match information data. Match info. So if match info, I'm sure there's rounds. Yep, round is equal to stage, phase, configurations. Oh, not that. What was it? Round of activation? Yeah. So if this is the round that we do activation, then we do activation. Let's see. Oh, I did comma instead of there. Let's see. On phase activate, and then we say invoke. We're also going to put a question mark here, and that just prevents this from ever being null. If this ends up being null, then we don't do it. Or, what else we could do? So we can't mess with these from the outside. We can make them private. And then just say public void on activate. Unphase activate. Invoke. This will protect it from being messed with from the outside. And then we would just do on activate. In fact, we don't even need anything else here. Okay, and then otherwise, if it's round of deactivation, on deactivate. The other reason I made this change too is that I think if I do dot this and this ends up being null, I think it'll actually give an error too. So that kind of just avoids all of that. And then we need this update phase change to happen at some point here. And the best way to figure that out is to find out, when does this round get changed? Probably match controller, that makes sense. Round plus plus. Next round initialization, well, hey, that sounds like as good a place as any to me. Right, there's a whole bunch of instructions here. Do I ever use this? None of these steps actually occur here, apparently. Okay. Oh, it does change phase. Hold on. Oh, for one, let's shorten that, but... Okay, that actually does occur. But none of this actually happens here. I think it happens in intro. Let's find out. I mean, it's obviously working, right? First update. Yeah, it initializes, right? Well, it's the player. Okay. Okay. So these were things I was going to do here, but I didn't end up doing them, I just did them in the initialization of intro. So, let's do that crap here. So, stage, background, controller. Look at that. No, wait, we don't have that. We have match info, stage background, stage controller. Uh-oh. We don't have a handle to stage background controller, do we? Does this have a handle to stage background controller? General stage parameters. Doesn't look like it. Oh wait, no, here we are. Stage. Oh, that's camera. No. Aye. It's more complicated by a second here. What does this even do then? Changes shadow colors. It really doesn't have any active thing here, does it? Well, isn't that interesting? Okay. Trying to think of the best way to handle this. How's rollback going? It's going pretty good, actually. I have that open too. I was working on it earlier. I'm working on a new version of the input log here so that you can see oh, it's not giving me names now? Oh wait, maybe I gotta be in debug mode. So you can see the values here. Now this configuration is not a fighting game configuration. This was left over from the when this project used to have the hamster drop code in it. But you can see I'm constructing different logs. I'm going to try to make a more efficient way to search through them and a better way to handle the naming of object or the naming of inputs and stuff. And that's all kind of rolled into getting macro buttons to work. So like have a grab button that just translates input to, you know, 2 punches or 2 kicks. Yeah, using the third strike sprite. Yeah, I'm using that one. I don't think it's going to pick the controller up, is it? It might. Yeah. So it's actually doing rollbacks right now. It's doing 2 rollbacks and then a normal frame. So it's updating 3 times per frame here. For being an editor, it's actually holding up pretty well. All the objects on the screen here are rollbacks. They're rolled back and they're resimulated this amount of frames. And everything looks fine. You don't see anything going wildly out of control. Everything's looking okay. So far so good, but there's still a lot of code that you're not seeing that's being worked on. And the input system is one of them. I have to change it like to get macro buttons anyway, but the input system has to be very different for the rollback to work. So I figured I'd just do all those changes all at once. And that's what I'm currently working on here. I was doing that just before stream started. Having a couple small issues with the code I'm trying to do there, but that would take a while to explain what's going on there, so we'll just leave it at that. Yeah, it's going pretty good. It just takes a long time to do these things. I'm gonna make an event for round change here in match controller. That'll be the quickest way to accomplish this, and probably the best way too, to be completely honest. So header, round change, public. This one will have to be public because I need to add to it arbitrarily. Unity event. Oh, I probably don't have it up here. Here we are. Unity event. On round advance. I'll say on round change. Advance is technically the kind of change that's happening, but it only goes forward, so change works too. And let's see. Should I make this? Yeah, let's get private set. This doesn't need to serialize, so I'm not worried about saving it or anything. And yeah, actually it won't be visible anymore, so. We'll go back to background controller, and what we will do in awake is if match info, meaning if it exists, we just plus equals. No, I might not be able to do that. On round change. Why is that like this? Not contain. What do you mean doesn't contain? Oh shoot, this is the match controller. I need to do this in match data. That's my bad. Match information. Same thing. Up here we need to add it. I'll get rid of those. The ones that are darkened mean they're not being used. Unity puts in a few of these using statements in there for you. And that's basically just code that's not in this file. What do you want to include? And then you can include them that way. Okay, and then now we just go back to where we were. Here. On round change, add listener, and we're gonna say here, update stage phase change. That's it. Yes, happy? Yes. Otherwise, we're going to log an error that says match information was not set. And that is a no-no. Obviously, that's not going to be set for pretty much every stage, but I do want to remind myself that when I enter a stage, if I see an error, I'll be more likely to pay attention to it. So, okay, all that should be set. And then we need, in this file, can we go back farther? Here. Match info. On round change. Not invoke. We'll do that way. Okay, it might finally work now. I hope so. This is our test run. Let's see if it goes. So we're going to say on round 2, we want to turn the snow off. That's basically what's going on here. So I'll have to unload that, and let's play. Let's see what happens. Okay, snow's on. Round 1. We'll beat Terry up until he stops moving. Let's see what happens. Round 2, let's go. It didn't work at all. Alright, well, let's see what happened then. Oh, you know what happened? We didn't set the match information, did we? We didn't. That's why. Match information. There we go. Save. Unload. Retry. Wouldn't be fun if it were that easy. Hey, I don't know about that. Okay. There you go. That's my debug button to kill both characters. It worked! There's no more snow! It's gone. Yeah, there we go. Okay, that wasn't too bad. Oh, little lag spike. And the editor will get those from time to time. You shouldn't see those in the actual release build though. Okay, so yeah, we got that. Now, I don't know if I can actually turn these back on or if they'll freak out if I do that. Well, we can certainly try it. Let's say that on round 3, we deactivate and we turn them back on. Actually, the more intelligent way to do this would be to say that from round 1 to 2, they actually activate. And then when they're done, they'll deactivate, right? It's kind of the reverse logic here, but I think it makes a lot of sense. So they'll deactivate on 2. And then we can say they'll reactivate on 3 and deactivate on 4. So happen that you ever get that. I mean, we'll just want to test to see if the deactivation code works, essentially. Oh, wait, hold on. I gotta turn it back off. I have to turn off this. Otherwise, there will be 2 versions of the stage loaded. You might not notice a difference because they're layered, but it could cause some issues. Okay, let's just double KO. Boink. Okay, it's off, right? So round 3. Round 3 should be, I use a debug code to reduce the health, by the way. Round 3, it should turn back on. I don't know if this code is meant to be turned on and off. Oh yeah, there it goes, it works. Okay. So there's 2 ways we could think about this. That maybe round 1 doesn't have the snow. And then it comes in on round 2 or 3. And then it'll remain for the rest of the match. Or it starts with the match. And then it stays off, or starts with the match and then it gets turned off at some point. Oh, that's probably my track name thing. Yeah, track. I don't know why that keeps blowing up all the time now. There we go. Track names are back. I don't know about that. The other thing we can do, we can change the intensity. Let's see if we can do that. So if I copy this, both of them, I'll call them fast. Can I change the velocity, right? So the X velocity I want to increase to 35, but this one I want to increase to 75. Wait, what were they before? Shit. Hold on. 20, they were... This one's 5 and 1. This is 25 and 5. Okay, let's do this one first. So this is 75 and 1.25. And this one's gonna be 5 and 75. Okay, so the idea here is these are the fast versions, right? I should call these front and back instead of normal and slow, because I think that these ones are actually the darker ones. But then see, there's a snowflake count too, right? So we can change the intensity per round. So 1 to 2 is that, and then 2 to 4 will be the intense ones. How about that? Fast. Fast. So it'll start with the slow, then it'll do the fast. Oh, I didn't copy the function here. Active. Active. Inactive. Inactive. Yeah. Oh, wait, I gotta save it first. Now, save, unload, so we don't have 2 copies. Yeah, so they're both active at the same time now. That's bad. So let's see, how can we fix that? I think that they should be thrown through the deactivation process when the... No, they should already. Oh, no, okay. Yeah, let's have them deactivate right away. Right when the match starts, we'll have them deactivate. So not match information, stage background controller. We'll say in awake. And we'll say in start. Stage, phase configurations, length, I++, is just the loop through them. Let's have them deactivate like right from the beginning, and that'll run the deactivation code if it already has it. Otherwise, I'd have to turn all those off from the get-go, which it's an inconvenience. It's fine. It's not going to make or break anything. But this should stop both of them from being active at the same time. Okay, now none of them are active, and I know why. I know why! Oh, that's the other code. This was the stuff I was working on earlier today for the rollback stuff. Input stuff. Not quite as interesting. What I really should do, I really should just put this in the round initializer. The problem was it was skipping it the first time. It wasn't actually doing it on the first run of the thing here. So... No, I don't want to rename it. I want to find references. Here. So once all the characters are set up, then we're gonna do the round change. That way it'll happen all at once. All right, let's go. We should have one of the effect. One of the snow effects playing. Yep, okay. Now that should be the faster ones coming in. They don't look any faster. Let's crank up the speed to some ridiculous amount, and then we'll know for sure, right? Let's say that instead of 1.25, it's gonna be 100 or 10.25. How about that? Save that. I think it was just such a small incremental change that it just wasn't visible. I have the win button. Oh, there it is. Yeah, see? Okay, it worked. Now it looks like rain, but obviously we don't want it to make it that fast. We can make it double speed from what it was. Oh. What this one used to be 1.0, right? This was 0.5. Then I'm going to times 2. So it would have been 25 and then times 2. 5 times 2. Okay, save. Okay, first round slow, second round should be faster. It's a little faster, but it's not quite what I was expecting. Oh, I tried to reset. I thought I was in training mode. I tried to reset the position. That's funny. And this should persist for two cycles. Oh, he's gonna have to be the one to win. Otherwise it ends. And then they should be gone now. Yep, and they're gone. Okay, so it's working fine. We just need better values here. 2 and 4. That'll be 1 and -2. Just doubling it until it looks right or too fast so we can adjust. Slow snow. And let's see about fast snow. Yeah, there you go. That's a noticeable change. See, now there's a little more energy in the air, so to speak. Because the snow is falling heavier, right? And that's kind of like what this stage is going to hinge on. How much ambient energy is going to be in the background, right? And get those Game Jolt follows in there on stream. Who's that? Brad C2? Well, if you're watching this, Brad C2, shout outs to you. Hello. What's up?
I looked for the cat.
Oh.
I think I saw a coyote back in there.
Oh.
Yeah, my flashlight caught the glint of its eyes. It was too tall to be a fox, I think.
Hmm.
Yeah. It just watched me for a few seconds and then moved straight to the right and went back in the woods.
Huh. Sneaky little thing. There you go. Then all the snow's gone. And so now it's got a tranquil feel to it. I think changes in mood like that are very important. And that's the end of that. Boink. I kind of like that. Uh-oh. Do you notice we have a problem here? The rematch didn't work. I think I know why. Because when this goes away, so undestroy, we want an undestroy. We want to unregister ourselves from here. Remove listener. I think it's doing it twice and it's interfering with itself when it does that. I could be wrong, but that's my first guess. The fact that it's not removing itself off of the list when it goes out. We'll try it. But I think the stage feels much more dynamic now. Oh, we should have fast. Yep. Hey, come on, stand up. Go for it, man. I think it's a noticeable amount. I think it's pretty good. Actually, other reuse. This one's gonna have to take that one out. Bonk. Now they should go away. Yep. Okay. And then we'll see what the rematch is like. Oh, he's actually gonna block it. That's funny. Okay. Oh. Bonk. Use my cheat codes. That's where most cheat codes come from, by the way. From development tools. Okay, will it work? Yep, that was the problem. So what it was registering itself over and over and over, and it was running that process a couple of times. Instead of doing it once, it did it twice, and if you did 3 rounds, it would be doing it 3 times, which might, because it was an odd number, it might have actually fixed it, but yeah. So what do you think? I think this is a pretty good sequence. It starts out with the slow snow, and then as the match is going to pick up, of course, the snow gets heavier, right? You can't give it up. Let's party. And that makes sense because the match is getting more frantic. You can have more energy in the scene. Then the only question is, when the snow comes off at the end, does that tranquility work in the context of the match? Is it when everything's calm, does that make it more tense, perhaps? If it's the final round, maybe. That's what I'm wondering. I guess the alternative version here is that it starts with no snow at all. There's just something interesting about having no snow. Just kind of like the quiet, almost deafening atmosphere to it. I feel like having it start with no snow, little snow, heavy snow is almost maybe a little too typical. I think there should only be one round of slow snow, though, for sure. And then there should be a couple rounds of at least heavy snow. We could build into it something that says, oh, when this is the final round, then do these stage conditions. You could certainly do something like that. It'll take a bit more coding to do, but... Well, I guess it would say if it was a potential final round. It would have to be a potential final round, because you don't know when the real final round's gonna happen, right? You could maybe do a team character count. Like it would happen here, right? You could have combination conditions too. Like it has to be, it can be the final character, but it has to be at least on round 3. Yeah, that'll take some considerable coding to get all the conditions working right, but I think that would be interesting. Yeah, so you would check if in team mode, team character count is 1, or the lowest team character count is 1, meaning somebody is on their last character. And you're at least on round 3, or round 4 rather, I would say. If you're at least on round 4, then you get the no snow. But I think either way, only the first round should have the slow snow.
Hey, come on. Nobody blink. Let's party.
I wonder about darkening the sky slightly during the higher snow segments. That would be good. Since there's more snow coverage, it's kind of like, I don't know, things are getting a little more dark and intense. I mean, I could add a third speed of snow too, where it's like even faster. Or maybe more, instead of faster, maybe there's just more snow in it. We didn't do that yet, actually. I'm gonna just call them levels. Level 1. Level 2. That way we'll know what their intensity is. Oh, I don't like the spacing there. Level 3. Is that the chicken talking? I hear her over there.
Yeah, I'm with some art stuff. She's looking at my hand box.
Okay, we'll increase these by 1. And then we'll increase this 1.5. Whoa, that was way too high. Oh, it's an integer, right? So it won't. I will double it. 16, 10. I have a feeling it's gonna be too much, but well, let's see what it looks like. You know what I'm gonna do too? Just to make my life easier here, I'm gonna add an enable and disable flag to these. So, public bool enabled. I will say it's true by default. So I'll add the condition here that this has to be enabled and the other has to be true. That way I can turn on and off ones to check quickly without having to manipulate their round of activation and deactivation things here. So I'm going to turn them off, duplicate this, and then we can check it right on round one. We don't have to worry about fiddling with it. What makes me think about the darkening the sky, I think Donkey Kong Country does that in its stage, its snow stage. When the snow gets more intense, I think it actually darkens the...
It does.
It does?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I actually need to remove this from the deactivation. Otherwise, when it initializes, it won't actually turn those ones off. So we'll have them deactivate, but they have to be enabled to be activated. So we should see, if I changed the rounds correctly, we should see the level 3. No, it died. No go. Oh, it's not enabled. Okay, well that would be why. Right, because I copied this one that was already disabled. Yeah, okay. Save. We should be able to see it right away. There, now it's way more, a lot more snow is going on, right? I wonder if it's maybe too much, might be too distracting. I don't know, what do you guys think? It's not distracting, it's heavier in other games for sure. Really? Okay. I think it's slightly too cramped, so I'm going to -4 and -2 on here. Oh, what I should do is I should increase the horizontal velocity. So it looks like it's like the wind picked up, right? It doesn't look like it's really picked up that much. I like the volume. I think it should be slightly faster horizontally. So let's make that 5. Make that 4. Actually, this one might have been okay. I don't know. Maybe make that 6. So the disparity is a little more ratioed as opposed to just incrementally. Oh, there we go. Of course, it'll just go away now, which is gonna be weird, but yeah, now it's just out. So at least for now, what I would probably do 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to infinity, basically. Let's see how that looks like in an actual sequence, right? And now we've got 3 of them. 3 intensities. Okay, we's fighting. We's done fighting, and oh, and we win. I use my cheat button. We win. It's a little faster. Okay, and big finish. Oh, that's not big finish. There's big finish. There we are. And that's the highest energy now. The storm's in full swing. We got it. Oh, he's getting it. And then, oh no, sudden turnaround, and where is it? There. Ryu's dead. And it will just stay this way in our current configuration. We can add some life to the stage. And of course, this is the last. And that's the end of that. I think that's pretty cool. I think we could do some cool stuff with that, right? Uh-oh. We got a break. Something broke. What broke? Why'd it break? What'd I do this time? God. What did I do? They're all enabled, right? Yeah. Oh, you know what it is? I know what it is. They're just all gonna have to deactivate. Wait, I already did that though, right? Yeah, I already did that. I deactivated them on start. Well, I don't know. I'm not sure what's up with that. I'm pretty sure the stage gets unloaded when you go to that menu and then you come back. So it should always run this. I really don't know. I'm not sure why it doesn't do it. Oh, shoot. Hold on. Maybe because I had this loaded. Maybe something was screwing up with that. Did I have that loaded? I don't even remember now. Well, either way.
It all depends on your
so let's see. Let's get him. This phase could go on longer, I think. Maybe 2 rounds of that, and then the fast snow comes after. And it doesn't work. I wonder if we go to round 2 at this point, what will happen? That worked. Okay, I have a theory that this is happening after the update happens. So I've got a new idea. Super smart.
Big brain 5-head idea, baby.
Yeah. Well, you said 5 head?
Yeah.
Big brain 5 head idea?
Yeah, instead of 4 head, you got 5 heads.
I got 5 heads. The brain is so massive. The universe, that's why the universe is continually expanding. My brain just keeps getting bigger and bigger by the day.
Yeah, Chad energy, baby.
Yeah. Big giant universe Chad brain. Get ready for this.
Yeah. Why, I love you, baby.
I love you too.
Chad energy just drew me right in.
I don't know if you heard her. So the Chad energy just drew me right in. How about this big giant galaxy brain? When it's the first run, do the deactivation and then do this. And then first run gets turned off after the first run, obviously, and then it doesn't do it again. Whoa! Big galaxy. Yeah, it just expanded my mind. Look at that. That should fix it. That way there's no ambiguity on when these run. They're not going to be running out of order no matter what, because it's built into the first time that it runs. Okay, and then I say, oh, I got him. And player 1 still wins because Terry is still on their team. Let's see. Galaxy Brain? Yeah, Galaxy Brain, baby! The biggest of brains. You'll not find a developer with a brain as big as... God, I'm so inadequate, though. I'm a pretty shitty developer. I ain't got no big brain. You wanna see some? I've seen some big ass brain developers. And they just make me feel like the tiniest, most insignificant developer on the planet. There's some real giant, honking, big, giant brain developers out there. And they're just monsters. And I definitely don't count myself among them. Yeah, so there's 2 reasons that I want to expand the second phase to be 2 rounds instead of one round. At least in team mode. we could do different rules depending on whether it's team mode or not. Because like having a 2 out of 3 round structure is a little different, right? Than having, because when you have a team, you're basically like 3 out of 5. So we'll make the designation later. I'm not going to program that right here, but what I'm going to say here is we're going to assume that this is team mode, and we're going to say that this is 2 to 4, and the reason that is, and this will be 4 and on, it all comes down to player mood. If someone is getting the crap beat out of them and they're just getting completely cleaned out. I got Ryu and I'm fighting my guy and I clean out his team with Ryu. The final phase of Snow shouldn't play. And the reason for that is because it's not an intense battle. You're probably just getting your teeth kicked in. So I would say in a team battle, the configuration would be slow 1, moderate 2 and 3, and then only round 4 and above has the fast snow. Because at that point you actually have a fighting chance. You know what I mean? At that point, the match is really getting intense because you've traded characters at least once. Mathematically, that can't be the case. Otherwise, is he gonna die? Will it kill? No. I'm no James Chen. Right, so then now, when he's on his last character here, it won't be the frenzy Snow, because like they're obviously getting dominated if they get KO'd all 3 straight. So then the 4th round here, like they've got a little bit of life left, they're coming back, then you can introduce the frenzy Snow. Because this is where the battle's really going to heat up. You're 3 rounds in, you're on the 4th round already. Now things are going crazy. However, that doesn't work for round mode, for normal round mode. So what you want to do in that case is you want to say round 1 mild snow, round 2 medium snow, and then round 3 is going to be intense snow. Assuming that they're doing, you know, the 3 out of 5 or 2 out of 3 format. You could potentially change that dynamically, but I think that makes sense to do it like that. And that way, if again, it's the same mentality. If someone wins in 2 rounds, well, you got kind of dominated. Maybe it was close, maybe it wasn't. But the point is, you know, you didn't win any rounds, so the frenzy snow is not going to activate until you've got 1 and 1. You know what I mean? And then it's going to get crazy. And also for that reason, I was thinking about having no snow at one point. I would say that that wouldn't be a thing in this case, because you'd never see the no snow condition in round mode. In 1-on-1, you would never see it, because there's only 3 rounds, potentially. I mean, unless you, of course, increase the roundage, but I don't see any reason to have any... I don't know, it just feels weird that it would be special for that only. That you have to have it at 3 out of 5 single rounds in order to actually see a certain part of the game. Because you would say that the 2 out of 3 is the typical, that's the normal, that's the tournament standard. So you want everything to be visible within the tournament standard. I would say. I would say that's a reasonable... Wait a minute. Did something not deactivate here? What happened? Yeah, we've got we've got 2 layers of snow going. I mean, it looks kind of cool and all, but it's not what's supposed to happen here. Yeah, level 2 and level 3 snow are active at the same time. Well, what the heck happened? Why'd that happen? Those look kind of cool though. Not gonna lie. And now it's back to normal. I wonder why that happened. I don't have 2 versions of the stage running, do I? No. I don't know. Multi-layer snow is more fun. Yeah, the thing that I noticed when there was the multi-layer, when they're running at different speeds. See, these ones aren't running at different speeds. Well, they're running at different speeds, but they're at the same angle. But when both of them were there, one was going farther than the other. And what it kind of looked like, it almost looked like it was simulating a fluctuating wind effect, which looked really nice. So that makes me wonder about slowing down the slow layer back to like 2. So that was 2 and 3, right? So oh, the slow layer is 1. Okay. Change that to 1 and keep this one at 6. Kind of curious what that would look like. Oh yeah, this is Streets Rage 4 soundtrack. Yeah, it's good.
Buddy, it depends on my skill. We're all fucking done for.
Yeah. I count myself in that too.
Hell, I can't give it up. College told me that too.
Okay, here we go. Let's see what it looks like. Yeah, see, you kind of get that weird, it almost looks like it's swirling because some of it's going faster than others. Some of it's coming down and just doesn't look like it's moving quite as fast. It's kind of got that optical illusion of like the wind is swirling and therefore some are going faster in front of you and some are going slower. I think it looks cool. That's what it looks like to me anyway. I mean, being from New York, I got a lot of experience about snow and all that. I think it looks cool. It looks more frantic than the other versions. I'm gonna leave that change, I like it. Just like real snow. Yeah, pretty much. There's our new kick. Yeah, lake effect snow, right? Yeah, you know. You know. Oh, that was a fail. It was supposed to be this. Yeah, it glitched again. I wonder why. Ship it. I wonder why it glitched again.
It don't matter. Write an apology on Twitter and ship some DLC.
Did you hear what she said? It doesn't matter. Just write an apology on Twitter and ship some DLC.
Problem solved, baby.
Yeah, isn't that how it works?
Hey.
Isn't that how it works? Don't tell me it isn't.
Nobody blink. Triumph or die.
Pocket Fighter 2077.
Hey.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I actually survived that. Okay.
You win.
I'm gonna have to think about why it's activating.
It all depends on your skill. Let's party.
I have a theory that maybe the round, maybe when it gets called, that the round counter hasn't been reset yet. And it's showing an additional one. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'll have to figure it out. That level of debugging is not something I'm gonna do on stream. I have a feeling it's gonna take a while.
You win. Hey, come on, stand up. Let's party.
Oh, right. Cheat button first. Bonk. Okay.
You win. You can't give it up. Face it straight.
I can't do a super on keyboard. Not with the arrow keys. Oh my god. How can I not do this on keyboard? I don't know. I can get a special. I can't get the super. That's hilarious. Let's see. Nope, I can get special, but I can't get super. That's funny. I don't have a gaming keyboard, so it could be a specific thing of keys just not working, but it's kind of weird.
Give it up. Face it straight.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So if you don't, just to explain this, if you don't have a gaming keyboard, pressing certain combinations of buttons on your keyboard may not work. Like, they just don't work. It's called group circuits is the problem. And so you press, I'm pretty sure this one has that problem. Let's see. Can do that. There's certain ones that I can't do. Oh, yeah. I can't move and also do a roll because the group circuits won't let me press all three at once. I'm pressing light punch and light kick. See? If I let go, it'll work. I have to, like, let go of the back before I do the roll. It's really weird. Yeah, the Power Max mode is doing the same thing. Not until I let it go did it let me do it. It's a lot better with the WASD than the arrow keys, and maybe I'm just not used to the arrow keys. But it just felt like it works better that way. work this time. What the hell's the problem? I don't know. I'll figure it out later. But hey, so here we've got the basis for this. Hey, Milath D. Hello. What's up? Well, we got the basic system down now. We can start to apply it to other things too. So let's take where's Neo Geo World here? I got an idea for this one. Where is Neo? Where's the file here for the actual? Here it is. Okay, we'll take this mystery man, right? And we'll add the match controller. Let's see. Gerardo? Gerardo, hello. Hopefully I'm saying that right. We'll say this man of mystery. You don't know who he is. Let's say he will show up only on round 5 to 99. So when activated, he's active. Deactivated, he's deactivated. Is it really difficult to create the gamer program? Yes. Short answer, yes. I would say that the long answer is that game creation itself, I don't want to say that it's not difficult, but it may not be so much a matter of difficulty, if you get what I mean. Some stuff's not difficult to do, it just takes a long time to do. So there is that distinction. And I think that's an important distinction. Most of the stuff that I do right now isn't necessarily difficult, it's just time consuming. There's certainly some things that are difficult that I have to really think about in order to, uh-oh, it failed. He's there. Why is he there? What happened? How come he's there? There's certainly some stuff that's difficult and I gotta think really hard before I implement something. But a lot of it at this point is just creating the animation, creating the asset, programming it, putting it in. You know, it's something that I've already done before, but it's enabled. Round 5, yeah. Unactivate, turn them on, undeactivate, turn them off. Yeah, so that didn't work. There's definitely some sort of glitch where the deactivate's not running, I think, at first. Well, just for now, to satisfy it, we'll turn them off by default. Now let's try it. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, there, okay. So when he's off by default, he's just off, but yeah, I think that deactivation code is not working for some reason. Okay. Oh, it didn't kill. Chat says, I feel the hard part is going from using full engine to having to use, or having just to use it for render. At least that's the answers I can find in the GGPO Discord. Yeah, kind of. I'm actually not using Unity just to render. I'm building a sort of layer into Unity that can do the rollback. So I do have that working here. Well, let me pause this. If they're both running, it's going to be unhappy. But here, this is actually doing rollbacks in Unity, but it is not using Unity just as a renderer. It's actually working with Unity to do the rollback once it loads here. It's going here. See here, it's doing 2 rollback frames. Now you shouldn't notice anything wonky. It might drop FPS a little bit, but you shouldn't notice anything horribly out of sync or going crazy. And it's actually rolling back in Unity itself. It's actually using Unity objects and Unity components to save and load the state and to actually do the updates and the looping and all that. So it is possible to do that. That is, it's not like these engines can't be made to do it, but it is a lot of work to make the rollback happen in Unity. If you create your own game loop, your own game code and engine kind of runs inside of Unity, which is what you're talking about, using Unity just as a renderer, and doing all your game code in your own, you know, isolated kernel. You can do that too. And that might actually be the slightly more efficient way to go about this. But it's also the more complicated way to do it. Like, you'll have to write your own animation tools. You'll have to write your own, basically everything at that point, you know, and you're not using Unity for any kind of features. So you could argue kind of like, why even bother using Unity at all at that point? And the real answer to that question is you don't have to do the render code, for one, and it could be potentially multi-platform as long as your game kernel will be happy with the different platform specifications. So there are definitely benefits to still doing it that way, but my goal is, if possible, I want to continue using Unity to develop things like the stages and stuff, because I can just go in here and just start adding components and adding graphics and things like that. I don't want to lose that level of development accessibility by doing my own kernel. Alright, hide all that. Not so you can't see it, but just because the game's flipping out about it. It's having a heart attack trying to render all the UI and render the game itself. It's doing a lot of extra work. You don't see everything that's going on here. There's a lot of extra stuff going on here. So that's why I'm getting such low FPS. It's doing collisions. There's actually, I think, like 100 objects here. It looks like they're the same object, but there's 100 of them spinning. So it's actually doing quite a lot. And this is what happens when you have non-deterministic physics with a rollback engine. It's quite interesting. They start to have their own little micro timelines every time it rolls back, and this is simulating rollbacks every frame. It's got their own little micro timelines, and they're just flipping out and going in all directions every single time that it resimulates. So yeah, this is why you need deterministic physics for a rollback. I leave it in there to just kind of marvel at it sometimes, just to be like, oh, that's just funny to watch. Yeah, it's still gonna be a bit till this system can be implemented in the game itself, but when it does, it'll be something to behold. I can guarantee it. Let's see here. So let's make sure that on the 5th round he actually gets in here, right?
Get ready, fighters. Face it straight. You win. Nobody blink. Face it straight.
Alright, and then this one will have to win this one, and this should be the 5th round.
You win.
Yep, and there he is. He showed up.
Fighters. Go for it.
Just for the final match. The final round. And then he's out. I think that's cool. That should be fine.
Get ready, fighters.
So I really gotta figure out now why they're not deactivating like they're supposed to be. Yeah, the life bars are glitched, but we'll fix them. Guess I'll, chat says, guess I'll explore the possibility after I finish my Pong with GGPO. Thanks for the clarifications. Yeah, no problem. I think the thing with using Unity to do the rollback is definitely going to be slower. And I'm hoping that this is going to be fast enough. But it was impossible to know until it happened. And sure, there's optimizations that I can make here and there. I think overall, if you make your own little kernel for the game and use Unity only as a renderer, it's gonna be a lot faster to do your save states, load states, backups, and stuff like that. Because you're not contending with all the data that Unity has to play with, or parts of Unity that you can't change the behavior of. You know, and they just run processes that you'd rather not run, but they're gonna run because Unity makes them run. There's some stuff you can turn off in that regard, like the physics can actually be automatically, like they're automatically updated. You can actually turn that off. Yeah, you too, have a good one. You can actually turn the physics auto update off and then render it, or run the physics update whenever you want to, as opposed to letting it go through the automatic process. And that's something that I actually have to do. And then honestly, I turn off the 3D physics completely, because this project doesn't even need them. And you can see that in, I think it's project settings, yeah. So there's physics and physics 2D. So if you go to physics, I don't know if I turned it off here or not. But I definitely did in the deterministic engine. Where is it now? Auto simulation. Yeah, it's actually on here. So I can turn this off. And that'll actually save me some cycles. Let's make sure it's still... No, yeah, okay, I gotta turn it off again. Because when it was playing, it's not gonna save. And then here, this one's probably going to automatically run, right? Yeah, it goes on fixed update. But that's because the current game's not in a rollback loop yet. Just the deterministic engine that I'm building is in the rollback loop. So I actually want them to run auto here. But eventually I'll have to turn those off. So here, the game should actually run a little bit faster now. How about that? And that's something. I don't know how optimized the 3D physics is, to the point where, like, if it doesn't detect any 3D physics objects, does it just not run? I don't know. But at least it's just off now. It won't run at all. So yeah, I just guess off stream I'm gonna have to figure out why the...
Nobody blink. Face it straight.
why it doesn't work. I didn't make it static, did I? No, I just made it public pool. First run's true. And when first run is done, first run's false, so this won't run again. Yeah. It just goes through. It doesn't regard if it's active or inactive, it just goes through and it deactivates. Oh, because I'm doing this in the first part, I can actually do that now and bypass both of them. Because they'll all call on deactivate initially. This happens on Awake, right? Yeah, it registers on Awake. I was wondering if maybe it wasn't registering quick enough. Should be fine though. It's possible that there might be still a mismatch here where this isn't registering fast enough to cause the deactivation to work. Well, I'll leave that for later. Point is, it works. Hooray! So, I'm pretty happy with that. I think it works pretty good, with the exclusion of that one glitch. So the question is, what else could we do with this? I mean, the answer is, of course, we could do several things, but in the short term, what do you guys think we could add to the stages in question? Any of the stages that we've got going on. And we got the islands. Hey G-Man, what's up? We got the islands day and night. Suzaku Castle. I probably wouldn't, I don't know, I guess I probably wouldn't add one to here because the signs kind of act like that. They're the destructible objects that continue between rounds. And that's sort of like a stage change. It's just an active one. Neo Geo World. What I would ideally do with Neo Geo World, I mean, Bernie's there for a meme, obviously, but it's not a representation of what the full stage is going to be like, right? What I would like to do, though, because I've been thinking this for a while, let me load the stage up so we can see it. I'd like to have the crowds change between the rounds. So there's no people here yet, obviously, except for me and Bernie. But I would like, you know, someone standing here and he's looking out over the bay. He's sitting here, he's looking out over the bay. Maybe he's got a girlfriend with him or something. Or maybe the first round, he's just sitting there, right? He's just sitting there on his own. He's just standing, looking out to the bay. And then a couple rounds later, you see him with a girl. So the story is he's waiting for his girlfriend to show up. And then now they're both looking at the bay. Or they're talking. Maybe he's looking at the bay, waiting to buy time. And then when she comes, they're talking to each other.
Round 3, she slaps the shit out of him.
Did you hear that? Round 3, she slaps the shit out of him. Did I see Max's recent tweet? No, actually, I haven't seen Max's tweet today. His daughter is so cute. Yes. Is that something he tweeted today? Let's see. I haven't been on Twitter much today. Let's see. Max. Oh, the one from 3 hours ago? Okay, hold on. Alright, what? Yeah, get out of here, Winamp. Screwing me up. Hold on. I'll get it up here. New tab. Oh, it won't zoom out. Oh, there we are. Okay, here. There you go. It's Max's kid and the dog. Yeah, just like Jessica slaps Cody, right? Yeah, in Alpha 2. That kind of thing. Yeah, so there's Max's baby. He's so happy to have that baby. You can see it on his face. Every time that he brings her on stream, you can tell. He's just over the moon about it. But yeah, you can tell little stories like that in the background, you know. And the Cody example is a really good example because, you know, Cody's kind of like he's the hero, but he's kind of a dirtbag a little bit, you know. So he's looking at the female fighter, and Jessica gets mad at him and hits him, you know. So that gives.
Babe, hold on. Somebody stole my credit card and got
Yeah. You're for real, right? But yeah, so you get that sort of that little bit of world building. Be like, oh, well, Cody's kind of a little scummy there, right? So now you know. Yeah, I see Max's kid grab the microphone all the time. Yeah, it's funny. You can't see it here because we don't have a camera, but when the chicken's around, she'll try to peck the microphone. I don't know what it is with microphones, but everybody wants to touch them. That's got to be toned down. I've shown that before. Oh, that didn't work. Wow, that did that much damage? Jeez. Oh, and that one didn't hit. I gotta wait till he falls lower.
I'm picking up my husband.
Never!
Son of a bitch.
G-Man says, I think it's because of their texture and how soft they are. Yeah, so they kind of got that plushy quality, right? I'm gonna touch the mic now. Hopefully it doesn't make too much noise. But yeah, I guess they're kind of almost like got that plushy soft feel to them. I can see where there might be a relation between that and like the feel of a stuffed animal or something, which becomes interesting to them.
Well, babies and animals, that's just how they experience the world. It's just very tactile for them. They have to touch and put stuff in their mouth.
Yeah, that's true. That makes sense. Yeah, that's why you're sucking on your thumb all the time when you're small. Yeah. So what else would I have in this stage? I would want to put SNK's original mascot. I forget. Is he called SNK Man? He's got like a mask and a cape. Like he's like a carnival mascot. Let me see. What was his name? Does anybody remember? Let me try to Google it. I'm not getting anything. Let's see. SNK mascot. Yeah, let's turn the music up. These Final Fight remixes are really good. SNK Man, you mean Terry Bogard? Yeah, before all that. Oh, G Mantle. That's it. Hold on, G Mantle. Let me look it up. Like a lot of people I don't think know this. But here, G Mantle. This was SNK's mascot for a period of time. No, I don't want to click. I want to. Did you see that? I hit the X on the ad and it sends me to the page. You can't close this ad. What the hell? I swear to God, this is why I have ad block in my main browser. I don't care what site is telling me that they don't want me to use ad block. It's shit like this that makes me use ad block every time, and I'm not sorry. If your ads weren't this invasive, I wouldn't have to use it. Yeah, G Mantle. So he's just kind of like, I don't know. It looks like V from Vendetta, it says. But I don't know, he looks like a carnival mascot, right? So I figure he would be the perfect mascot walking around in Neo Geo Land. And maybe he's handing out balloons to a kid or something, you know what I mean? Something like that would make sense. I would like to see him in the background. But I don't think most people know about him. For the longest time, I had no idea who he was. Cameo appearances, let's see. Oh yeah, he was a striker in 2000. I do remember that. He's in the Card Fighters Clash. The Rhythm of Fighters as a support character. Kimi wa Hero, what's that? What's that? Is it some kind of SNK, like some little mobile thing? I have no idea what this is. It's got a whole bunch of KOF characters though. Sam Show, Last Blade. Oh, and there's that. What was that mascot that was on John Oliver? They did a whole Japanese mascot episode.
Cheeton, I think.
Cheeton? That's Cheeton, right?
Yeah, that's Cheeton.
Oh yeah, it says right there, Cheeton. Yeah. Yeah. And then somebody dressed up as like one of them and then started like beating things up with a baseball bat and then they like said no more Cheeton. That was a good episode. Yeah, that's funny. So I don't know why, but Cheeton's in the game. Sure, whatever. I have no idea what this is. It's some mobile card game crap. I don't know. Oh, some RPG. Okay, whatever. Anyway, point is, G-Mantle looks like a carnival mascot, so I think he would fit just fine in this stage. And he could maybe be handing out balloons to a kid, or, you know, maybe just walking around, or doing a pose, you know, something like that. Yeah, ad block is a godsend. You damn right. You know, other than that, you could just have random people standing around. Somebody waiting in line to get in the ride. I mean, well, I mean, you know, there's not necessarily like a gate or anything here that people can walk through to get onto the Ferris wheel, but you think, oh, the Ferris wheel is here. So if there's a line of people, they're waiting to get to the Ferris wheel. It's a simple association. You know, you could do something like that. You could have somebody getting a drink from the vending machine. You could do lots of stuff, especially in this one.
One of the parties is selling drugs to teenagers. Make it realistic.
Oh no. No, no, no. No. No, 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 no. Look, I want to stay on YouTube, alright? Oh, he's everywhere in the backgrounds of the old games. You just wouldn't notice him if you weren't looking for him actively. Yeah, yeah, exactly. He's had his share of cameos. I think that was before they developed the Neo Geo logo. And then the Neo Geo logo kind of became their like, I don't know, kind of their character. And then Terry Bogard is just kind of now the symbol of SNK. Oh, I don't know what I was trying to do there. Yeah. So, okay, let's see then. What other stages we got here? He's mostly in posters or background art, so he definitely doesn't stand out. Yeah, exactly. That's why I never really like knew of him. Like I knew he was a striker just from playing it long back in 2000, but I had no idea that he was a mascot. I just thought he was just some bizarre reference to something. And then somebody was like, "Oh, like what? You know, we could have G-Mantle be a cameo somewhere," and I'm like, "What the hell's G-Mantle?" The trains are pretty static. You could maybe add more or less background elements. So like here, maybe the first round has more trees that go by. Oh, there's no trees right now. Yeah, so maybe it's no trees. And then you can have trees going by. You know, one every once in a while. Yeah, that's right, because the power went out on President's Day. We didn't get to do that one. But the second version of this stage has the trees. Yeah, I wanted to port it back into the first version of the stage. So you'll see a tree go by. There it is. So maybe you get like more trees on round 2. And then maybe like round 3 has no trees, and you know, you could do something like that. Kind of vary it up. That one would be really hard to spot, I think. You might like feel something's different, but you might not like even notice that it's there or not there. I think that would be nice. I don't think there's too much potential here to have a lot going on. And I would fill instead, I would fill the cart with destructible crates. So there might be a crate here on this side and like a barrel or 2 over here. And that's so they can be destroyed as the match goes on. And then they won't refresh between rounds. They'll just stay destroyed. Oh, almost. I think that would be cool. Like, that would be what I would do with this one. Because there's not like there's any like reason for characters to be here on the train. I just don't see it. You could maybe have in the corner here, like in the 3rd or 4th round, like a conductor comes out of the door and like comes to look at the match. Maybe like he's watching, like, what's going on back here? You could maybe have that. But I just can't think of any other real changes. Maybe clouds? There's clouds in the first round and not clouds in the second, or vice versa. I don't know. I can't think of too much. What do you guys think? I think this is going to be more of a have destructible objects kind of stage.
Dr. Ruin flies by with Mama Ha-Ha.
Really?
Shut up! Don't ask me suggestions if you don't want them.
Yeah. Cloud cameo? Not that Cloud.
E-Man who flies by. He's actually a real superhero, not just a Marnie.
Oh, okay. And the same kind of goes for the first one. You know, maybe add like a tree here or there, but I think mostly it's gonna be like crates and barrels kind of thing. We got snow on this one. This stage I'm not satisfied yet with. I can show it to you. I don't show this one very often because I tried to adapt it from the alpha port on Game Boy Color, but it's so barren and I'm not sure what to put into it. So I'm not really sure what I want to do with this stage. So right now it's considered not included. Like, it's okay, but it's also very barren and I don't really know what to do with it. I don't know enough about Thailand and the history of like these statues to know what should be in this scene. I have to do a lot of research. No, not that Cloud. The water viper kind. So I don't know about that one. Now this one, obviously, this one's super obvious what you need to do here. You need a big crowd of people. Now these are the people that are here currently are the ones that were in Match of the Millennium. But I'm not satisfied with that. I think the crowd should look more on model to what the fighters look like. I think we should have a unified style where they look similar to the thing. So kind of like how I drew Bernie. He doesn't look like this faceless, nondescript, you know, humanoid shape. He actually looks like he's part of the same style that the fighters are. He's a little smaller, for sure, because he's in the background. He has to be drawn smaller to keep scale, right? But he wasn't compromised into an amorphous blob shape thing. What do I want to know about Thailand? What's in the place where that statue is? Like what's behind it? What's in front of it? What? I got a reference here somewhere. I just have the stage here. Here. Actually, I'm gonna bring it in a sprite, and we can look at it easier. So this is what I have, but it's really blank. And the original copy from Alpha. Let me pull that up. Let's see. Raw resources, stages, SFA, GBC here. The original was this. It's very small, right? And I have to expand it to put it in the game. So I expanded it, sure. But like, what would be over here? Oh, that's not what I want. What would even be over here? What would be behind it? Like, I don't know. I've never been to this location. Like, I know it's based on a real giant statue, but like, what would the surroundings of this environment be so that I could fill something out in here? Because as it is now, it's just too boring. There's just nothing here to do anything with. So I feel like I don't want it included if it's not going to have a substantial amount of stuff. Yeah, the reclining Buddha. But if it's not going to have anything interesting around it, it's hard to just add a couple UFOs and call it a day. Yeah, I'll just add the Mars people from Metal Slug. They're just flying around.
Hire that person as creative director, baby. Best idea I heard all night.
Yeah. That was Larry, by the way.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, there you go. There are many statues like this in Thailand. So what's usually around these things? That's pretty impressive too, that they got a whole bunch of these things. These things are huge. Like, I've seen a photo of one, but I just never went and researched it. You know, like, what could be put into the scene here to make it interesting? The only thing, like, if there's nothing, if they're just out in the middle of a field and there's really nothing around them, the only thing I can think to do is maybe put a thunderstorm in the background. But outside of that, like, what would you do? Of course, then I guess you would have rain, or maybe it would just be in the background, like it's looming, it's ready to come. I don't know. It just looks too plain to me here. But I just don't know what's usually around it. Usually, they're Thai-style temples surrounding it. Well, they did add that. I mean, I know the Alpha one's got a more elaborate little temple here. I don't know. Maybe add a palm tree. Got palm trees there, right? I'm pretty sure, because here's a palm tree in the background. Was that in the original, or did I fabricate that? No, I fabricated that, but it must have been based on Alpha. Tourists and more temples, yeah, right? That's what I was wondering, would there actually be a crowd of people here? Or something? I don't know. And the other reason for not including it would be, like, I don't know if any character represents the stage yet. But I don't know who I'm going to add past the first 8. So, like, maybe I should save it, and then if Sagat or Adon gets in, then release the stage with him. You know, with the character. I don't know. Either way, it's on the back burner. So I like the perspective effect. That's the other thing that bugs me. The perspective really should be like this. But when I adapted it, I was like, oh, well, there's going to be so much nothing over here, then I'm going to just have to move it over. But it doesn't really work that way. It just doesn't really work. That's not a character confirmation for Sagat. Oh, that's true, Joe. Joe Higashi. So that's one of 3 characters. So Joe gets in, I guess. Yeah, because he's got the same style. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We have a Sansan market. Shamat submitted his own Pocket Sansan. I think it's actually in the code too. But it's he he built it based on the original specifications for Neo Geo Pocket, which means that unfortunately it's too small. Yeah, Sansan Day, here we are. Unfortunately it's too small, so it ends before the stage should end. And I haven't gone and done any edits on it to expand it. And I'll be quite honest, I'm not really sure how I want to expand it. It's a pretty self-contained thing here. I would also layer it as well, but that's not going to help the foreground, you know? So I just continue the store over here, but then it's not that interesting. You know, what really makes this side of the screen interesting is the fact that you can see the alleyway along with it. So in that way, I wouldn't want to just expand the store. And the same thing with this. You could maybe expand the spa temple thing here a little bit. But would you just widen? Would you just increase the size of the alley then? And fill in details in the background? I'm just not really sure how to expand this properly. It was so tightly designed that it really doesn't work any other way. So I don't know. This one's kind of a mystery. So if you played the earlier version, I think it was in there, and you might have seen early footage of it being in there, and I didn't remove it for any arbitrary reason. It was just don't know what to do with it now. Most pictures of Buddha is surrounded by Thai-style temples and forests. Okay. Yeah, alright. So I can just draw some foliage, draw a temple, and call it a day, I guess. I suppose I could look at other representations of it, like Sagat's stage in Street Fighter V, right? I don't think that's just a straight recreation of his Street Fighter 2 one. Let's see what we get. Oh, actually it kind of is. Maybe. Let's see. Hold on. Let's go to images. Yeah, I think it's just a straight up Street Fighter 2. What? There is a temple here, you're right. There's a temple. Alright, I'll figure something out. I'll figure it out. Sure, there's something here to do. Oh yeah, he's got a good shot of it here. I mean, he's in the way, but it's in the scene, right? Yeah, I'll figure something out. Cool. Well, thanks for the heads up on that. Hey, look at this. Is this the concept art? Or is this fan art or something? What is this? Yeah, I think this is actual concept art. Oh, baby, look at that. Oh, this gives me everything I need. Oh, baby. Yeah, we're saving that. How about that? I think it'd be good to have tourists in the stage. Some statues also have a garden of sorts in front of it. Okay. Cool. Yeah, tourist it is then. It makes me think, and I know the original version of the stage was in daylight. It kind of makes me think that you could do two versions of the stage. One where it's darker like this, and maybe there's no tourists, it's darker, and there's a thunderstorm rolling in. And then there's one that's like daytime lighting. And then have tourists and stuff in it. When in doubt, consult the Capcom gods. Yeah, pretty much, right? Hey, Toaster. Toaster V Joe? Was that Beautiful Joe? Toaster Beautiful Joe? must consult the Cap gods. Hold on, summoning. Akimon's on Twitter, right? Here, let me just tweet him. Here, I got a few questions. Can you help me out? Yeah, the darker one would be raining, right? Yeah, that's what I mean. And then do one that's in daylight, more like daylight colors, and then have the tourists in that one. That one would be cool. Kind of makes me wonder, why did they never have the tourists in any of Sagat's or Adon stages? Yeah, maybe it just didn't have time to draw it all. There weren't always crowds. Like Alpha 1 had a crowd in this stage. I guess they removed it for the Game Boy copy, but it was always a cool stage. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I'll have to get a whole bunch of photos and see what it's like. Adon hates tourists. Yeah, I definitely would. I can absolutely see Sagat thinking that they were annoying as well. But if he's there, you know what I mean? It's like going to a landmark and expecting nobody to be there? I don't know. Yeah, the crowd sprites in the Alpha 1 stage were huge. Yeah, in this one. Toaster Oven Joe. Oh, okay. But now that I'm thinking, it should stand for Beautiful Joe. Well, thanks. No problem. Toaster Beautiful Joe. Alright, let's see. I'd really love to include this stage again. I just don't know how to properly expand it. It's going to take a lot of work, I think. This is really cool. It's a really great alpha callback. Of course, Ryu's already got like 3 stages, so it is what it is, I guess. Alright, let's see. What else I got in here? No, I'll fight Ken this time. We did this one with the snow. This one's easy. We just build crowds. Oh, this one. I want to make a nighttime stage of this. I don't want to copy King of Fighters and do the different daytime versions, or the different times of day versions. For this, I want one that's just night and one that's day. But there's the cat here, wherever he is. There he is. The cat will do different things between rounds. I think that would look cool. I don't know what else to do here, because the KOF stage just relies on time of day changes. I don't know, maybe the fountain stops working in one round? I'm not sure. What could you reasonably put here? I really like this stage though. I think it's really cool. I did do a lot of expansion on this one to make this look right. Like this whole... it's hard to see here, but if I go in to the scene, this whole like arc here and all that stuff, I had to draw all that. And then the gradient. And I had to expand past this part. Now there's the cat. See, he just goes off screen and turns around. So you can't see him just flip the sprite. Yeah, I don't know what else to really do with this one. And you can see what the match looks like outside of the camera. How about that? You can see it's an actual reflection too. And it's actually goes all the way down. Let's see. Add more cats at night, yeah. Uh-oh, that's the time's up. Yeah, we're kind of winding down anyway at this point. Oh well. Let's see. Let's look at the remaining stages. No overtime today. I'm actually pretty winded. Oh yeah, okay. So got Coeur d'Alene. We got the Korean stage. This one's not done yet, and I know what I'm gonna do for some of this. I absolutely know what I'm gonna do with some of this. The seagulls in the game in KOF, some of the seagulls change. Like there'll be seagulls back here flying, and then in another round they won't be there in KOF 98. And then, and I don't know if it's only in UM that they fly across the screen a little bit. Like every once in a while, one would fly across the screen. I would say that like only certain rounds they do that. So maybe you would see them here in the first round, and then in the second round you don't see them in the background because they're flying across the screen here. I think that would be cool. You could definitely get away with that. You could have a thing here because I think this truck's supposed to be full of fruit or something. You could have people unloading it in one round, and then it being empty like in the final round, something like that. Question from chat: did you read my previous message? I think you missed it. Oh, sorry. Let's see. What do you think of a boxing ring stage? Maybe different boxing rings for boxing and Muay Thai. Maybe gyms for Muay Thai and boxing. I like boxing ring stages. I really like the Ring of Destiny and Street Fighter V. I thought that stage was really cool. And I was kind of sad that they didn't just keep adding to that, and that they were kind of like doing different stuff, because that one feels way more epic than like half the other CPT final stages that they have, I think, at least. Yeah, I would absolutely like to add one, and I wonder if I should adapt CVS2's arena, or I don't know. Let's see. Because the KOF arena stages aren't really like boxing rings, right? They're more like just a platform. So like the Smash stage is a pretty good representation of that. It's just it's like a stone platform. It's not even a ring. It's just a stone platform. The minute that you throw someone on the ground, their just head breaks against the ground. Good job protecting all your participants, KOF. Just throw them in the concrete ring. Oh, T-Zark's got a well, it's a wrestling ring, but it's, you know, it's essentially the same thing. Hold on, let's look at that one quick. Garou T-Zark stage. Yeah, here we are. Yeah, T-Zark's got a cool stage. I mean, this could be multi-purpose. This could be anything. Oh yeah, Slam Masters! You're right. You're right. We could do a Slam Masters stage. Either way, it'll have to be redrawn in the pocket style, right? So, let's see. Slam Masters. Here, okay. Yeah, it's a boxing ring. There's nothing super special about it, but yeah, it's a boxing ring. Yeah, you could do that. If you could get the floor with enough detail to show the logo, then it might be recognizable. Oh yeah, and Slam Masters 2 had their own, they had different rings for each of the places. Oh, it's Slam Masters 2. Yeah, they were weird. Okay, so here, hold on. Like, they had weird ones where they had like an ice stage and like a metal stage and stuff. So that one actually might be the more interesting one to pull from. Yeah, I'd have to do a little research on that and see where those measure up. Yeah, like here's one with chains. This one's got chains and stuff. So it's like a metal, not metal as in the material, but you know, the metal music kind of look to it. It's got skulls and sickles and stuff like that. Yeah, only two characters in Capcom for boxing, Dudley and Balrog. Yeah, well, Ed kind of fills that. I don't like Ed though. I don't think you could pay me to put Ed in Pocket Fighter. Yeah, who else? Who else would be considered a boxer? Yeah, I can't think of any either, right? I'm sure there's got to be one out there. Well, there's Mike, but that's basically just Balrog's template from Street Fighter 1. So there's Mike from Street Fighter 1, which I don't know if he's supposed to be Balrog or not. I'm not sure if they're supposed to be the same characters. Because Balrog's name in the Japanese version is Mike Bison, right? And I'm pretty sure the boxer in Street Fighter 1 was just Mike. So maybe they're the same characters? I don't know. But he's only appeared in Street Fighter 1 and never again. So, I mean, you know, make of that what you will. Cody's technically kind of a boxer, but he doesn't abide by the rules. But he has a lot of boxing style swings.
Kyle Travers, baby.
Kyle Travers?
Yeah.
Well, same thing there. So Kyle and Cody fight very similar.
That's the joke, honey. We're not gonna put fucking Kyle.
Shut up! Kyle's actually kind of cool. I'll die on that hill. I think some of the characters in Final Fight Streetwise were pretty cool. I think Kyle Travers was a decent character. I don't think there was anything wrong with him. I just think the story in that game was just screwed up and stupid.
What? You don't like fucking glow-in-the-dark meth zombies?
No, I don't like going to dark meth zombies.
I'm gonna have to ask you to leave this house.
Oh. Hey, yeah, here we go. We'll have to save this one for when I put Hagar in. That's not a character confirmation. But look at that. New York! We got New York. We got Hagar. It's New York. And Gunlock and Hagar. Wouldn't that be a one hell of a stage? Get the New York ring. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Alright, real quick. I think I've only got one more stage left. And the rest are old stages that don't fit anymore or other ones. Oh yeah, the Angkor Wat. And yeah, that's it. And the other ones are just ones that don't fit anymore. That's why they don't have things. And this one's work in progress. The Bamboo Forest. I don't even know. I have no idea what I'm going to do for that one yet. This one right now. Right now I have I got the monkey. The monkey can stay, but right, I've got the Metal Slug characters, and I only put them in here because it's a jungle. But I don't think it's appropriate for them to be in this stage, so I'm gonna make my own stage with Metal Slug characters, and I'll move them to a different stage. And the nighttime version of this has Fio. So I think, I don't know. In terms of like, what could I possibly put in this stage though? I don't know. Maybe round 1 and 2, the monkey's following you. Maybe round 3, he's eating a banana in the background. Or he or she, I don't know. It's actually based on Shantae's sprite, so I guess it's a she. And then maybe, I don't know, maybe the 4th round they're back to following you again. I don't know, you could do a bunch of stuff. I feel like this it's kind of like a wildlife stage. Like sure, the Angkor Wat's there, but there's potential to have like birds in the background and things like that. What about SNK boxers? Yeah, Axel Hawk, Franco Bash. Axel's Axel Hawk's a boxer? Franco's the boxer, right? He's got the boxing gloves on. I don't know about Hawk though. He's the guy with the whole pilot's get up, right? Was it? Oh, maybe. Hold on. Maybe I'm thinking of someone else. Hold on, let me look it up.
Yeah, I think Hawk was that big fat ball boxer guy beat the shit out of that Fatal Fury.
Oh. Oh yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
Yep.
He is
Yep.
boxer. Yeah, he beat the fuck out of that Tony kid.
Yeah. This guy. Yeah, you're right. I was thinking of the pilot kid from Real Bout. But yeah, he's a boxer. I guess Franco Bash is a boxer. He's got boxing gloves, right? Franco Bash. Yeah.
Terry was drinking himself to death because he got all sad because people beat him up. And then, Tony got his ass handed to him in a bar.
You mean,
and,
it's not Rugal, it was,
Fuck, yeah, Krauser.
Krauser, yeah.
I've been looking at the SNK wiki.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it was in my brain.
Fair enough. But yeah, Franco Bash, he looks like a boxer. I don't know if he kicks or not. Could be a cheating boxer. Yeah, see? Former super heavyweight boxing champion. See, he's a boxer. He's a boxer. SNK's got a lot. It's got Vanessa. It's got those two. I'm thinking there's got to be more than that. I'm trying to remember. Shen doesn't count as a boxer, I guess. He mostly uses his fists, but I don't know. I'm not sure if he really is a boxer, or if he's just a thug. I mean, Vanessa uses a kick too here or there, but like, she knows there's no rules in KOF, so whatever. But she's mostly uses boxing moves, so obviously she's trained in that. Shut up! Vanessa's the best SNK waifu ever. Who else? Who else is a boxer? In SNK's lineup. I know, I must be missing a bunch. Vanessa is just female Rick Stroud. Is Rick Stroud considered a boxer? I thought he uses kicks and stuff too. Like, obviously Vanessa does. But, like, you can tell that she was a trained boxer, not a trained kicker. I don't know, I haven't played the Real Bout games, so I'm not really sure what Rick does. Oh, one way to find out. There we go. Nope, I'm not putting it on the screen till the ad goes away. Screw you, no free clout here. There we go. See what this looks like. Yeah, I mean, he looks like a boxer. Wait, why is he just screwing around? Get in there, get him. Yeah, there you go. There you go. There you go. What was this, a Taz? Oh, it is a Taz. Okay, well that's why. That's why he's doing real good. What is he? Is he screaming? What is he doing? Why is he look like he's screaming the whole time? So he's a boxer in the wiki? Alright, there's another one. And they're all in Fatal Fury. He actually has pocket sprites. He was in Fatal Fury First Contact. That game's kind of like the pocket version of Real Bout. Oh, he howls like a wolf? Okay. The sprites from Fatal Fury First Contact are a little weird. They're definitely not the same people that did... Oh, Jesus. Look at this Taz cheating. Yeah, he really does kind of look like Vanessa, doesn't he? In the way he moves. So we had a discussion about this on the Discord too, where we looked into who made what game. Oh, get out of here, Fortnite. Look, I know Ryu's in the game, but that doesn't mean you get free clout in this stream. We looked into the staff members and I think some interviews and stuff on who did what in the Pocket games, and so the Fatal Fury First Contact was not done by the same team that did the KOF R1, R2, Match of the Millennium, etc., etc. He killed Terry. Yeah. And so the sprites actually look a little different there. So the KOF R1 team had to help out the Fatal Fury First Contact team, I think is what we deduced that or we read about it. Yeah, because I think in the Fatal Fury First Contact credits you see that they credit the KOF R1 staff, and they are different staffs if you look at the credits. So I think they were having trouble developing the Fatal Fury one, and it kind of shows. The game doesn't run quite as well, and the graphics don't look quite right, compared to the rest of the Pocket ones. So that's why when I colored Joe's sprite, I actually had to edit several things on it because it wasn't right. It doesn't quite fit. It's just off by a little bit. Well, we can look at Rick's sprites. I don't know much about Rick, so I can't tell you if I would want to put him in the game or not. But I'm pretty sure I have him. R is for Rick. Oh yeah, here's the Joe one that I showed what I did here. You'll notice that the arms are kind of a different proportion and stuff too. And they tend to look a little smaller. So then I added these details, changed the angle on the arm, added more stuff, added the color. So you see it. See, here's the different steps I went through. But you see how different it is in the original frame and how much I changed. So those details do add up. Anyway, where's Rick here? Ricky, where are you? We'll go Rick. There's Rick. There he is. Can always put in Duck King. I actually kind of like Duck King. I'm not going to tell you a probability, but I can tell you that he's not off the table. I think Duck King's cool. I don't know, was he in the Pocket games though? We'd have to draw sprites for him. Yeah, here's Rick. I mean, he certainly looks cool, but I feel like nobody knows who Rick is. Pretty tall too. I posted that Joe one on Twitter when he was revealed well, not revealed. I mean, we know Joe was going to be in KOF 15, but when they showed his trailer, I put that one on Twitter. Yeah, here's his little crosswind thing here, whatever they call this move. But look how, like, his head changes size between frames. Like, you don't see it so much here. You can definitely get the sense that, like, the proportions on these animations are kind of winged. Yeah, here, you can see it without the effect. Like, his head, look at Look at his face, is so weird in this frame. Like from here to here, like what happened? Like you can obviously tell this was the B team. And there was something wrong going on here. Then the size from here to here is fairly consistent, but then this is like looks like really small for some reason. Or like from here to here, like this head looks really small. Yeah, this is a Final Fight CD from the Sega CD. I love the soundtrack on Sega CD. It's really good. Yeah, so even if I did include him, and I'd have to look at this face. Look at the face. I'd have to do some extensive edits on this. This is not acceptable. I could not just put this in. Got some neat little effects going on here, though. That's a nice smear. Well, like I said, the KOF R1 team came and helped them out. So they probably helped them clean up some of the frames and help them redo some stuff. Yeah, it's a combination of shading in some parts, but it's also just being small. Like look at the size from here to here. Look, I'll put them side by side. It's just small. Here, I'll cut out the chest part. It's just small. Like from here to here too, like it's just small. No matter how you slice it, they're just small for some reason. Like this head too. Like I know he's facing a different direction, but it shouldn't be that much smaller. Like look how small that is. Compared to this. It's so weird. Are you able to show the other Joe Higashi sprite? I saw it in your folder. I may have made a previous version of Joe at one point. Yeah, you can see everything here, I don't care. If you're talking about this one, this is just a different colored versions I did. And I posted this on Twitter too. So I tried out different palettes. Is that it? Is that all the Joe stuff here? I think that's it. Or was there another one? I remember coloring him a long time ago, but I didn't like it, so I discarded it. Oh, this one! You talking about this one? We were showing this in the Discord. They were trying to make Joe's KOF pose as opposed to the as opposed to his Fatal Fury pose. I don't have the final version of this one though. At least I don't think so. I don't see it here. You might have to look on the Discord and search for that one. But that one's definitely not mine. Yeah, and I did some other poses here of coloring. But these are all based on Fatal Fury First Contact. But yeah, this was Graphicus was trying to make this work. We're going between the two different types of arms here. Because they looked a little long, so we tried the shortened version. But there's a more complete version of this one. If you search in the development channel on the Discord for Pocket Fighter EX, I think that's where they were doing it. So it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean that Joe's coming. But when Joe came out and then I made the colorized version, it got everybody thinking about it. So that's pretty much it. I've got some other cleaned up sprites. Like I did a Rio color. So this is what he's normally like in the Pocket ones. But I like it when he has his gloves on, right? And his little foot straps, I don't know, ankle braces. So I tried to do a couple of those. You'll see a bunch of this stuff here. It doesn't mean that they're coming. Sometimes I just like messing with stuff. Like I cleaned up a Geef sheet. Doesn't mean Geef's coming, but I don't know. I just felt like cleaning up Geef sheet. I thought it would be an easy task because he doesn't have any effects. Like Morgan's definitely not coming, but I separated her from her effects. Maybe probably just more to get the effects than to get her stuff. Yeah, here it is. I think that was probably my goal, was to just look at the effects for her and see if there's anything here that might be useful for something. And as a byproduct, that gives me a clean sprite sheet. I like Kasumi though. I don't know if I would... I tried to do some color tests on Kasumi. I don't know if I would add her or not. I think she's an interesting character. And she's got some like parry moves, right? But then I would think, well, if I want a character with parrying, wouldn't I just add Geese? Or wouldn't I just add Rock? Would people be more excited for either Geese or Rock over Kasumi? I think the answer is a resounding yes. But it doesn't mean that she's off the table necessarily. I'm not adding original characters. They're gonna be all SNK and Capcom, except for one. I have a one pre-arranged arrangement for a guest character, but that's the only one I'm doing. So unfortunately, that slot is filled. Yeah, I'm sorry. Maybe I missed it earlier. For the most part, I want to keep it just Capcom and SNK. I mean, there's enough characters here. I don't really have to be looking for something else. The guest character was a special request. I decided to grant that one, but that doesn't mean that others will show up. Dwayne did Rock Johnson from KOF All Stars. Yeah, right. Yeah, I don't want to be sued out of existence, so I think we're gonna avoid those ones, right? My favorite KOF character, The Rock. Who's the guest character? Oh, it's a secret. Secret for now. It's gonna be the 9th character, so you'll have to wait till the other ones are done. Super secret. Oh, that's his name, Alfred Airhawk. That's who I was thinking of when you said Hawk. I was thinking, like, this guy's not a boxer. Like, what's he talking about? Rock versus The Rock. The match we've all been waiting for. I bet the guest character is The Rock. No, it's not The Rock. I don't want this game to get taken down. The WWE now? Amber?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, they're still the WWE now, right? Yeah. They're very super protective over their stuff. So if I include any of those characters, even if they've been in KOF All-Stars, they'll immediately strike the game down. There's like no question. So I'm staying far away from that. I don't want any trouble. It's already in trouble enough for being a fan game. Though Capcom and SNK are generally very okay with fan games, so you know they're pretty based for that. But I don't want to get the WWE in the mix. They'll slap that shit down faster than you can do anything. I'll upload it. The next day I'll get a friggin' lawsuit in the mail. Vince will burn this entire channel down with everyone in it. He's crazy. Yeah, right? Right? They're super protective, yeah. If you try to do anything with any of their stars or their brand or their logo, they'll come right after you. It's kind of a Nintendo situation. Get welcomed by the people's elbow. Yeah. Yeah, it wouldn't last too long, I'll tell you that much. So there is that problem. Other than that, no. If I told you who created the guest character, you could figure it out. This person has created another character that is widely known in the indie game space. But the character that they want included is another one of their characters that's not too widely known. But I decided to grant that request. If I told you, it would ruin the surprise and you'd know immediately. So I'm not going to say anything. You'll just have to find out when it comes. I'm not taking on The Rock. You want to take on The Rock? That's your business. I'm not. No. I don't think all of us here in chat combined taking on The Rock would not win. I can tell you that much. I'm having none of that. I'm not getting involved. That's all on you guys. Alright, anyway, it's almost midnight here. I think I gotta clock out. My throat's starting to... It's dry. It's starting to get all, not crusty. What's the word? Just when your voice starts to go, you know what I mean?
Raspy.
Raspy, yeah, that's it. Thank you. Raspy. Yeah, we'll take a... Yeah, that's right. You take The Rock out to dinner. That's it. That's what I'm talking about. That's what we meant. Alright, so we laid the foundation for having multiple round effects in the game now. So now it's just a matter of figuring out what to do with them, and this will be an incremental kind of change. So let me review what we've done. The major one that we've done, at least. Oh, we can't do it in training mode, that's right. It won't work. Hold on. Hold on, let me pull it up. If you came in late and you didn't see it, here. It was the snowy train yard. So we added varying intensities to the snow in this stage using the stage round changing technique that we just put in. So it starts with a little snow. Oh, that won't even get him. This will. Well, okay, and then round 2, the snow gets faster. So it's a little more intense. And this goes on for 2 rounds, so I'm gonna debug my way into the next round here. So this snow pattern holds for 2 rounds. So then on round 4, we have the flurry coming in. So it's really coming down now. And that will stay for the rest of the match. At least currently. Yeah, I guess I'll send them out with a super. And that'll continue on until the match is done. So that was the big one we did today. So there you go. There's our review of what happened. So that leads into our Patreon. So, or well, my Patreon. We have one of the tiers is getting preview builds, so I'll have this one uploaded within the next day or so. I'm gonna think about what kind of effects can be potentially added to the stages, and I might change the configuration of this one so that maybe some of the stuff might change from what you see here to what gets released on there. And so that's patreon.com/GameDevScrubs. Put that there. So if you're interested, throw me a few bones. I would super greatly appreciate it. And you can get some rewards like that, get some preview builds of stuff I work on, and some exclusive updates, things like that.
You
And
buy our cat food, Mark will share his secrets.
yeah. Well, it certainly helps. Yeah, so schedule, Sunday, that was yesterday, we played Multi-Blood. I don't know what we're going to play this Sunday coming up. Maybe something different. Monday was today, Pocket Fighter EX. Every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're here. We're doing Pocket Fighter stuff. Thursday, I'm working on my other game. It's kind of a sort of Metroidvania, retro NES looking platform kind of thing. So if that sounds cool to you, then come on and check that out. Also at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, they all are. You can see it on the screen. And yeah, time over, right? Time over. That's it. So if you want to come hang out with us on Discord, here's the Discord link. And that's pretty much it. So I'm going to get out of here. I need to drink a bottle of water, get my voice back, and get some dinner. And that's it. So, oh, right. I almost forgot because I did it out of order today. I'm very, very sorry. I need to read out the names of the patrons. So Cameron Waya, Variant X, Omega Kia, Awakened Emperor, Angel, Roy Luis, Uncle Roy, Mike Cruz, Taryn Williams, Corporal Chungus, Bryce Nago Ingham, AJ, Engraved Spirit, Miles Griffin, Ben K, D-Money 107, and LD Walker. So there you go. You can have your name read out too if you want. Check that out. Thank you guys very much for hanging out. I'll see you guys on the next stream, and scrub out.